decided to be a drink coaster, yeah.
Nice.
For my morning coffee.
See, that's how you treat it. Like when I was taking it out of the box, I wore gloves. I don't think
Wore
I've ever.
gloves.
There's not one fingerprint on that. I always handle it with gloves.
It's an achievement.
Yeah, it's an achievement.
Oh, it's cool, yeah.
For like a, I mean, like again, I'm like a, I didn't finish high school, so I need one thing, right?
That's
to
as
confirm
good as
I'm
a
not
diploma.
that big of a loser.
That is as good as a diploma. Put that on the job
pretty
resume.
much.
I've got a gold YouTube play button.
It's kind of, I don't know, in some respects.
I mean, it shows
I mean,
a little more. It shows something.
It shows
know?
that people will listen to you if you speak authoritatively enough.
That's true.
No, I actually think that's part of the reason why, like, so we'll get into this probably, but I think, like, me and Zesty are, like, way similar on the Save TF2 thing than people think we are. But I think the conflict is we both speak with so much confidence that it kind of, like, rallies people, just, like, it's like the vigor of it all, you know? It's like the...
Well, no, I think the issue is,
voices.
I'm the villain in the story, don't you know? You're the hero, I'm the villain, because, you know, I'm Mr.
I
I'm
think
Mr. I'm Mr. Slur Rolodex. I'm Mr. Gonna go bully a minority in a workshopper, you know? and so when they pit you, the golden child of a TF2 YouTuber against me, the villain, naturally there's gonna be divisive rhetoric.
That's right. I'm saving the game. You're bullying Sri Lankan children.
I'm literally killing the game by calling hats bad. People have said this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny that you say that because, like, it's a trope that the villain and the hero are two sides of the same coin, right?
Well, I wouldn't even call myself the hero, dude. Like again, like we're probably gonna talk about it, and then there's some disagreement at the edges. Like we can talk about the boycott for sure, because I am still against that, but I'm not against it for like wholesome Chungus reasons. It's like I have like practicality concerns mostly. And yeah, we can talk about that if you want. But I think in terms of like what we want done, I think it's like the general tenor is I wouldn't say identical, but it's in the same ballpark for sure.
Well, no, I think everyone agrees that we want Valve to fucking do something, right? That's just a no-brainer. Everyone's on the same page here. Everyone wants to demand Valve to, you know, not just maintain TF2, but all of their games that they're neglecting right now, because it's just getting ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even in the way we express it, I actually think I won't speak for anyone else. I'll speak for me. A lot of what I'm doing is very much like we need to humiliate Valve. Okay, we need to make everyone know that, like, I think something I've learned, or not something I've learned, something I've grappled with a bit is I'm pretty sure Valve cares more about. I mean, it seems self-evident, but they care more about a tiny sliver of damage to the Valve name than a big bazooka being dropped on TF2 as a whole. I think that's probably the case now. And so I think what we need to do is like make the problem synonymous with Valve's brand, not a problem with TF2. No, this is a problem with Valve, and we should use the word Valve way more.
No, yeah, that's a very easy thing to do because we don't just have TF2 to point at. We have Left 4 Dead to point at. We have CS2 to point at. We have it's a corporation-wide issue with all of their live service titles that they've shown again and again that they cannot maintain them. And now
they want to make another one.
and now they have the audacity to be making another game and are going to push that as another live service title when they can't properly maintain the ones they have. It's insane. It's fucking insane. And honestly, I think that's the angle that should be taken. It's a more general one. Like you said, use the word Valve as much as possible and paint them in a negative light.
Yeah, so we have like in my video, I name drop Valve a bunch. That's like the focus of mine. I can't speak for anyone else, but what I will tell you is I did make some executive decisions with the descriptions we have on like a big website we're doing. And that's like one aspect of it. But basically, whatever I have my hands on, I try to shit talk Valve as much as I can because I think they need to be publicly humiliated.
No, good. That's the
really,
absolute
I'm
angle.
really trying my best. Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm trying my best. There's probably going to be some shit that slips by, and hold me accountable if that happens. But I really am trying. Wait, are we live?
Yeah,
we are.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we've been live.
Here, tone down the slurs, guys. Don't let them.
Yeah, keep it PG.
PG-12.
PG. Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah. Welcome to episode 17 of Upon Further Review. Glad you guys are all here. We've got the entire panel actually showed up, which is shocking to me because we got a few people in here who notoriously never show up to when they say they're going to. So I'm happy to have all you guys here for the stream, trademarked.
Of course, couldn't miss it.
Also,
Richter, are you alive?
Richter, are you alive?
No.
No,
he's
no.
here, but not speaking.
Guys, he's here in spirit.
Have we perished?
Hello?
Hi, Richter.
There he is.
Hey, Richter.
Hey guys. Oh, and you guys having a good time? You guys having a good
He sounds like he just woke up.
Sounds
I
fucking devious right now.
woke up 1 minute ago. I set
Oh,
my
dear.
alarm. I had to show up for Lucid. I had to be here.
I really appreciate it. I genuinely do appreciate
Weezy,
all you guys showing up.
It sounds to me suspiciously like you were telling Zesty Jesus about things that I told you that.
Nope. No.
That's what that suspiciously
Nope.
sounded
It
like.
wasn't.
to me.
No. He brought it up organically. I have said nothing.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna take you at your word. But what's going on with this stream? What's the
Watch
plan?
the
I have no
VOD.
fucking idea what's going on.
Okay, so I put the watch together link in the funny Discord, so you guys can all.
What are we watching?
We're gonna go through Wheezy's video. That's the current plan.
But first.
But first, I did want to have like a little mini icebreaker video, in advance of the first video that we're covering.
Oh no, not this one.
Fair and balanced critique.
For the
we know it's bait. You know
no.
this
Yeah,
video is
so
bait,
I
right?
want to.
It's bait.
I want to I want to clear up. I know this is a joke. I know this is bait. It's just really funny. So we're gonna cover it anyways because I think it's just really funny.
I'm gonna be honest. It took me like a minute and a half to realize it was bait because that's like the level of critique that's been happening recently.
No, it absolutely could just be not bait. Like he could be completely.
Nah, I think it is
bait. But you know, if it wasn't bait, I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, same.
I
think we're at that point now.
Yeah. But first,
Lucid, you have someone saying in your chat that you're too loud compared to everyone else.
I was working on it.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
I'm trying to fix it because I know that's like a regular problem. But...
Yeah, Lucy, can you shut the fuck up for once? You're so
sorry,
fucking loud all the time.
So mean.
I should talk. It's like it's like how you should like act your dick size. I should like talk in relation to my sub size. You know.
Use your inside voices, please.
There's some big guys in here. I should be quieter. I'm sorry.
Big, relatively speaking. We're all fucking random ass people.
You got your check mark, Zesty?
Yeah, I did.
Yo, W.
Nice.
W's in the chat for Zesty Jesus being verified. That's crazy.
But yeah, so hold on. I'm gonna see if because watch together might be broken. Okay, hold on. Talk about something. I need to fix the stream overlay. I'm a professional.
Why don't you use
We need the icebreaker, dude.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Weezy-
This is a good. No, wait. Sorry. This is an important question. I have an important question that you guys can all talk about.
Oh, okay.
It's not TF2 related, so it's a great start. Okay, so the question is, we have 2 death row inmates. One of them is put into a room, and they are forced to eat soap until they die. The other one is put into a room and forced to eat wooden pencils until they die. Who drops dead first? Discuss.
What race are they?
I'm not answering that question.
Is race actually important in this case?
Do the pencils have the graphite in them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a
okay.
pencil.
This would be way too easy if the answer was no.
I mean,
How
I would
big's
say
the soap?
I would say the pencil guy.
Yeah, I agree with
Well, how
Zesty.
big's a soap?
It's bars.
No, it's like
hotel
infinite
bars or
soap
something.
and infinite pencils.
It's like infinite soap.
Yeah, they both have as much soap
Infinite
and as
soap.
much pencils. They don't get one of each. They have like
Okay,
they eat
but
infinite
how
of it.
like what bites do you have to do?
What?
Like it does it have to be
That's
like
how
no, does it have
fast
to be
you
like a
have
big
to eat it?
chomp? Yeah, could you like nibble on it like a squirrel, or do you have to like take big fucking?
We'll say you can nibble on it, sure.
Waiter,
can
waiter,
play-
more pencils, please.
Waiter.
Lobber just messaged me and he said I clicked on this podcast and y'all are talking about eating pencils. Is this the special ed podcast? So.
Well, I know that soap is a surfactant and it gives you miserable diarrhea.
Yeah.
So it just flows through your system. Whereas pencils and graphite.
Eating soap, Zesty?
Well, no. Well, I mean, everyone had that one kid in their class, right? That would eat shit they shouldn't eat. One kid got into the dawn and drank it. You know, one kid got into the dawn, he drank it, he had the shits for a week. He didn't die. But if you're chewing on like chunks of wood, your stomach acid will probably deal with the wood, but the wood's also been treated and has chemicals in it, so that's going to get in your bloodstream. There's also graphite, which is pure carbon, which will just build up in your bloodstream. So probably the pencil guy will die first.
No, but see,
Weezy was definitely that kid, by the way. He was the one who was eating the fucking pencil and shit.
No, that wasn't me.
You're underestimating the effects of diarrhea.
I was a glue eater, though. 100%.
You're fucking Weezy.
Why did he say that?
Good God. Why are you the glue
I wanted
eater?
to try it.
Well, if it's a laundry soap, a soap guy would die faster. Because of the chemicals. More chemicals.
I don't know. What if you just became like the Hulk, you know? Like, what if the chemical... Like, no, because, like, realistically, has anyone really tried eating an infinite amount of soap? We don't know what happens.
We really need to try for that, you know?
There's probably been like poisonings, you know, they have like the poison control center on all the bottles. So someone has in the past eaten enough soap to die. Otherwise that warning wouldn't have been there.
Mm-hmm.
If like there's signs that say don't shit in the urinal, like, bro, who has?
Someone has done it. Yeah.
I need someone to tell me not to eat this, okay? Otherwise I would.
What, pencils?
Or soap. Anything with the Surgeon General's poison control center label on it.
I don't know. I think I'm on the pencil train. I think I agree.
Pencil guy.
I disagree completely, and I think you're both wrong.
You think your soap would kill you faster?
Yeah, no, because diarrhea. Like, you're not so are you allowed an infinite amount of food and water as well? Because if not, I think you would lose too much fluid and too much calories from soap induced.
Okay, so you die by shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dehydration.
Okay.
See,
thing is, it takes 3 days to die from dehydration, usually, right? In like a vacuum. So, and assuming you're starting fully hydrated, right? So that's 3 days. Whereas if you're shoving stained wood and graphite into your gut, you're probably going to poison yourself in a shorter amount of time.
I don't know.
Guys,
Lucid, is this what you were excited to get us on to discuss this
Yes.
entire time?
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to talk about fucking pencils.
Truly important discussions.
Yeah, I am just speechless. I really don't have
my Adderall cooldown's ticking. Come on now.
I really have no idea what to say.
That's fair. Yeah. Thankfully, the second you guys got fed up with the question was the second I fixed the overlay, so we're good.
So what's the real answer, Lucid?
There isn't. I don't know. I'm on Team Soap because I think Alex.
Oh, you fucker! I thought there was like some statistical proof that who would die faster. We just. No. Why are you gonna cook me like this? You're gonna blue ball me? I want to know if the pencil guy, or the soap guy dies. Come on.
No, I don't. I don't know the answer. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Oh my god!
I didn't know you wanted an answer.
I wanted a fucking answer. Now I'm not gonna get what it's gonna make me not able to sleep at night.
You can.
It was a bait question from the beginning. God.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't think this is bait. I think it's very important.
Dear God.
Richter, you joined the funny, the watch.
Yeah,
together?
I'm in there. I'm in there.
Who are we missing? DEWILL, have you joined?
I'm in.
Yeah, Ratlobber hasn't joined yet. He's
Yeah, no, Ratlobber was not invited. Fuck that guy. He makes good content.
He's
I hate
gay
him.
or something. He's poop.
Yeah,
he's
I
not
hate
even
that
allowed.
guy.
Gay?
He's gay for
Why
me.
he
We're
is
gay together.
Gay?
Me and him are gay. Don't worry about it.
Congratulations.
DEWILL, you could join the watch together. It's in the Discord general.
Oh, give me a sec. Oh yeah.
Do we really have to watch this 2-fort twerk thing? What is this? What
It's
the fuck is this, Lucid? What are you making us watch?
it's a good introduction to Weezy's video. I
Oh
think.
God.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I haven't changed my name, but it doesn't matter.
All right, let's get started.
Vac bans don't work. $billion company. Bots are bad. Okay. I'm not here to waste your time.
Waste your time. This video holds the world record for wasting the TF2 community's time. I mean, this whole entire video, he's talking like a baby over stuff I've knew since 2014. I'm sorry, but if you didn't know the game was just full of bots idling to get items since the beginning
he's
of the
cooking the fuck
free-to-play
out of you,
update.
Weezy. He's like, you're owned.
Well,
You're
yeah,
owned.
no.
So you know what's funny is within the first 30 seconds, he does bring up one of the biggest counterpoints to my bot video.
Yeah,
which really isn't a counterpoint at all. It's like, well, how'd you not know this? I knew this. It's really I find it stupid. It's like, just because you're aware of something doesn't mean the next guy is. And generally speaking, most people in the TF2 sphere had no idea how bad the botting problem was. Everyone only noticed it because cheaters, right? But they had no concept of how bad idle bots were, right?
That's true.
And sure, like some old heads who've been playing since 2009, it was very evident to them that as soon as the game went free to play, it got flooded with bots. But for everyone else who doesn't really pay attention to that, it wasn't common knowledge. So.
Yeah, everyone was saying in the comments like, "Oh, duh, the whole game was bots." I'm like, no, not duh at all, because most of it is like idle bots and trade bots and shit. And
I was always
abstract
sus that the game ever had like over 100,000 like players. That's like insane. I never really believed that.
I did not know it was 70%.
Yeah,
you'd assume
you'd
assume it's an amount, but you wouldn't assume it's as big. I don't think anyone would have assumed it's as big as Zesty figured out it was.
No, yeah, and I fucking wish I had more historic data to really show how long this has been going on. Like, obviously, there's been bots in the game since it went free to play, but the sheer volume of them, I don't know if it's always been about 70% or if it's only gotten worse in recent years because Valve stopped giving a shit. So I just don't have an answer for that. I wish I knew, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the Valve guy that Uncle Dane talked to kind of alludes to a similar level, I'd say. Maybe not as high, but like. If it's enough to be a problem.
No, yeah, it was a similar level, but at least during that time, like pre-Meet Your Match, they were still like actively banning them, so it was keeping the volume of them relatively low, or lower than what it is now. But now that they don't do anything, they're allowed to proliferate, and now there's a shitload of them. So
that's right, they're like fruit flies, man.
They are. Good God.
I think that is probably only one of the few things I would say you could have improved about your video was just preempting that argument because it's a really obvious one. Just having examples of people saying like having an example of someone saying, "Hey, this might be the case," and people being like, "No, that can't be the case." Just having that at any point would have probably just boosted it a little bit.
No, yeah, and I actually had an entire section in the video kind of addressing when the botting first started, but it added like 5 or 6 minutes that I didn't feel like was going to contribute towards it, so I cut that out. I'm going to put that in the follow-up video.
Ah, nice. Okay, but yeah, nice. But yeah, no, I was also gonna pause it here to say that this is like an actual argument people make. So even if this is bait,
yeah, can we get back to the intellectual brain food that is two Fort workers? Can we get back to this?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Got in the way of the groove.
My apologies.
Then I don't know why you need to be informed by WeezyTF2, man. I honestly...
Yeah, fuck you, WeezyTF2. You suck in your land.
You be informed.
I honestly should probably subscribe to WeezyTF2 so you can know your top 10 MVM facts. Okay, so yeah.
It's true, Weezy. You're so fucking lame for doing.
He's the biggest hater.
Guys, that's actually why I subscribe to WeezyTF2.
I hate the way you pop them. I hate the way that you make TF2 YouTube polls. I hate the fucking
I hate the way
man
you
on your head. Jesus.
And we hate the bitches you fuck.
They confuse themselves with real
TF2. You confused yourself with real TF2.
With his stupid banana loadout on
True,
the
it's
bottom
stupid as
left.
fuck.
It's so stupid,
He's owning you. This is the dumbest loadout ever fucking made. What's wrong with you?
That's the point. This? And guess what? Everyone knows it. Do people know your loadout, Richter?
They know my fucking VHS tape guy. They make porn of it, so
it's
actually too effective.
No, it's a good no, you're right. No one ever put tits on my character. That's not a good point there.
Oh, wow, let me roll in as the expert here. I can let you know something. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Guys, that's a challenge issued by WeezyTF2.
He's owning the fuck out of you with your stupid banana thing. You're owned.
At least give him a massive hog, you know?
A massive banana-shaped cock. Yes.
Right. Jesus. Weezy's banana must be put on display.
Which direction would the banana curve?
Shut up.
Me about World of Warcraft lore. Yeah, this whole entire video is about World of Warcraft lore for 18 minutes, by the way.
I laughed at why the fuck is this video about World of Warcraft, bro?
Okay,
it really is kind of absurd.
Two things. One, it's about 6 minutes. And, you know, it's like 1/3 of the video, okay? But also, like, 2, the reason why is because if I just said, hey guys, let's make a petition, everyone would have called me a fucking loser and then laughed me off the face of the earth. And like, this is just a way. It's like a proof
You need
of concept.
examples.
Yeah, you need an example
yeah,
of something like this working at some point, which I actually think that's probably a criticism of the original movement. That because there was no model, there was no outline, there was just like, this is an idea, let's do it, and then it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
I'm so glad people are realizing that, Lucid. Like I don't know. I feel like that was like obvious when it was happening.
Actually, I knew this all along, Richter. I knew this since before the movement actually happened that it would fail.
Since 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, since 2014.
Yeah.
I've known the movement the entire time. It's going to fail. It's going to be bad, very bad.
They're saying your server's getting N-word flooded and spammed with balls and stuff. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
If it is, I'll just take I don't know. I'll take care of it later. I don't care.
He'll go eat a fucking pencil to deal with it.
Yeah, they can be locked.
Soap.
I'll lock them in the pencil eating chat and the soap eating chat, and I'll assign each of them, and they'll have.
And
to
you've caught the attention of the flavor of the month cheater party, who's now spamming your Discord.
That's fine. I don't care.
Oh my god! This video is so
That's how your
bad.
fucking stupid has been.
Kill that
Anything makes me
pyro,
feel too.
please.
It makes me go, oh my god!
Makes you sound like a
So yeah,
really
here's
good
my
nut.
reaction to watching this video for the first time because I had shadow play on.
It's a running theme for Warcraft. There were lots of illegal private
I
servers.
don't give a fuck about
unsanctioned by
Warcraft
Blizzard.
lore,
This
dude.
is
I
so
get it, I
real.
get
This is actually
the-
real. He's
Nah,
cooking the fuck out of you. That's how I felt watching the video. Like, why the fuck?
Okay,
I don't want to hear about this.
Sure. Okay. Well, if you just want me to say make a petition and then you can go yay, but you call it stupid anyways, dude. Like, we need a proof of concept here. That's the point.
Okay. I
yeah.
just think it was an absurd amount of time spent on World of Warcraft.
It was like a third of the video, dude.
A third of a like 18-minute long video. That's like the minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Okay, it was actually longer. I shaved it down a lot. That's like
God.
the basic information, dude. It was
Let's
the
see,
video
this
was
guy's
originally
this guy's owning you. Fucking TF24. What's this guy's name?
Two Fort Turker.
TF2
24 twerkers fucking owns you, little bro.
Sir, I know you're gonna talk about fucking.
You got the Rat Lobber said this dude got 2 Fort twerked on and he's coping.
Facts, Weezy.
Classic WoW, dude.
It was everything by Blizzard. A few days later, the
This
server shut
is
down.
awesome, by the way.
Everyone
His
watching
content
the
is just
video
like skipping through your video and going, "This part's gay. You suck." Not even like edited, just like shadow play. Like this part's gay. Fuck you.
gay. Scrolls more.
Okay,
Gay.
no, but unironically though, if there was a channel that just like covered controversial content, but covered it exactly like this, and was like completely indiscriminate, like it covered every controversial video under the sun, it was just like, this is all stupid. I hate this, and that I would watch it. It'd be funny.
was
Dude, I
You got
fucking
that
hate
24
you,
twerkers over there.
dude.
You're
I
so
hate
man in lucid TF2.
you. Why are you
Wait.
wasting
Data,
my
they knew
time?
was bare knuckle fighting a hippo, but the that Blizzard had for legacy servers, which
Still
many now
talking about
concluding
World
that
of
this was nothing but a PR move to
He got you,
I don't
bro.
blame you, but
No,
people
I
said
think
the
I think
exact
it's
same
fair.
shit about this legacy
But I'd
WoW
rather have that
campaign
moment of
almost a
boredom
decade ago.
Than,
Imagine
than
if
people
they
be
listened
ill-informed,
to that,
you know?
God forbid he actually tie the analogy into something. That's crazy.
that devil on their shoulder. Imagine if they got as pessimistic as we. That
Dude,
unfortunately
fucking in your
did
life.
Seriously? He just
Oh my
dropped a
God, you
kill
got
yourself
fucking
right
twerked
away.
on. You got fucking 2-4 twerked on, Weezy. How are you gonna cope
Man.
with that?
I don't know. I don't think I can ever come back from this, man.
He got
crazy.
His
2 Fort
career's over.
twerked on.
Yeah, worst
This
part
guy's
is I can't even make.
single-handedly destroying your movement. With
No,
this
I
2-4
can't even
twerking.
put a fucking War Thunder ad on this and make a shitload of money. This is nothing.
No.
This is disappointing. I can't milk this.
What the fuck?
Every
It's over.
mention of
What's the
World of
point of having
Warcraft,
haters
I
if
knew
you
he was
can't
going to
make
talk
money
about
off
some stupid classic stuff. But to go on to dribble for like 15 minutes
Drivel. That's an SAT word.
about World of Warcraft lore that no one cares about, just to make a stupid point that has no merit, like...
I love this guy's like angst and like it's like Spurg rage, but I like it. Okay, it's really funny.
He sounds like
No, I love
he
this.
sounds like he's on the verge of reciting My Chemical Romance lyrics, just constantly.
He's awesome.
He's great.
Everybody subscribe to.
We already
2-4
have
twerkers.
Classic TF2 and it sucks. It was horrible. It died like 2 times and now it's barely back. It's barely surviving.
What is he even talking
What
about?
is
What?
he talking?
I don't even know anymore.
What is he talking
Why
about?
is he talking about TF2 Classic?
Why he bring up that?
I don't know.
Or why? What's the reason behind this?
Tyler McVicker had to sacrifice so many. Oh my god! I'm not even going to tell you what.
Tyler McVicker has had to sacrifice so much.
What the?
I can't believe.
I've lost in 15 seconds. I've completely lost track of what he's talking
Chat,
about.
remember what Tyler McVicker sacrificed for you, okay?
This guy's in shambles.
He's absolutely distraught.
Dude had to do to get those servers up and running in mainstream again. Oh, I rest their souls. Why is there Far Cry on my screen, bro? Get out of here. Anyway, just having this video in the background is disturbing. I'm probably just gonna get flagged down by a team, even though there's barely any of them. He's barely speaking in it. I'm not even letting him speak. He doesn't deserve that.
Sounds like he took Adderall and turned on his microphone over a WeezyTF2 video.
Sounds like.
I'm a boys.
This doesn't sound like Adderall to me.
My
I think he
God,
just got
this is
fucking
the
sloshed.
best you can do. I'm just so angry. It's just horrible. I was told, someone said I should make a video on this, but what is there to say about it other than this video is garbage? I feel bad. Every bridge, every YouTuber I see, I have to burn the bridge because they just...
What
it's just,
bridge?
This video.
He has to burn the bridge. You don't understand. He's friends with all of these people.
He's burning his bridges.
He's burning
You
all
gotta
of
talk about how
bridges.
hilarious it is that like Valve gave Dane like a fucking Deadlock key, and he was like, "All right, I'll play this so that I can know what they're doing instead of working on TF2." And he played it. He said he played it for 5 minutes. Was like screen sharing it, and then he said, "Wow, this sucks. I don't want to play this." And then it leaked. And he's like, "I actually don't want to play it ever again. It sucked." That's like absurd.
I think that's so funny, dude. I love that.
It's a good story. It's a good piece of history.
That's a great story.
This video.
It could not have come at a better time, too.
I agree.
I'm just saying, TF2 community, you better get Deadlock's Deadcock out and start sucking that thing.
What?
And you better beg for a promotional item.
I think that's the punchline he brought. Yeah. That's the punchline he made for this video.
He had Deadlock and
This was
Deadcock.
an entire video just to like.
This is the main purpose of his video, I guess. Showing people this punchline-esque thing. Wow.
The rest was
I just think he's a stupid dumbass, and he got really drunk, and he's like, "All right, fuck it, let's hit record."
Let's dunk on WeezyTF2, and he nailed
His
it.
video's funnier than yours, Weezy. It's a lot funnier.
I don't think
Yeah,
Weezy's
it's
video's
meant to be
supposed to be funny.
Funny, so it's correct.
Because that's the only way anyone's going to be playing TF2.
Is if they play a different game.
Play TF2 for 25 minutes to get this Deadlock skin. You better beg Gabe Newell to put in 2 minutes to make that happen, okay?
It sounds like Richter. Is this your burner account? You can be honest.
This is me, yeah. I was on here and I was just thinking, man, how do I make
you,
Weezy?
actually.
I would
How do
believe
I
it.
embarrass Weezy and call him lame and all these things?
What the fuck?
No one wants to play this
I
game.
love
This
the
mean,
game
monkey
just say
noises
you
also.
had the same
I would
critique.
definitely do monkey noises if I was doing videos like this.
Monkey.
I'd be like, and then Weezy says we should save TF2, and I went.
He went,
sucks, man. You think a new
'cause it's a
player's gonna
banana.
go on the game, join 5 CP and get killed by a whole comp team? You
What?
think they're gonna keep playing the game after that when they
This
can
guy
play low
definitely was
elo
fucking hammered.
Deadlock?
I think you're right.
And just be
He's-
the
he
worst
sounded
player
really
ever and have the
drunk.
best
Very
time of their
clearly
life?
on
Oh,
something.
Oh, buddy. This guy right here, this banana soldier, if this is a free-to-play pyro, look at him. Oh, he just killed him. He killed him. He killed that free-to-play
he's like
pyro. If
enraged,
he could,
he's
he would
seething
have
about your
walked to a
background.
melee. He would have ripped his head off, ripped the baby out of that
I'm
pyro's
not gonna lie,
stomach, and
Richter. I'm pretty
murdered
sure
it
this is
right in
your
front of
ult.
there just for
That's
one
something you
single...
would do.
yeah.
Like
pause the game and be like, look at how fucking the people he's fighting in his footage are clearly like kids. Clearly
Yeah,
free
no,
to play.
you would do like the sarcastic, oh, look at how good he is at the game. Oh, look at this epic gameplay. Like, that's such a you thing to do. I don't know,
Why
man.
would I do that? I think it's hilarious, but why would I do that? I don't get it.
It's hilarious,
I
but
don't
why
know,
would I
man.
do that?
I don't know, man.
Well, extra
aggro?
kill in the
Who
kill
knows?
streak, dude. This guy pretends he likes TF2. Yeah, the last 4 months he did absolutely nothing but make the worst videos ever and made only 4 of them.
I made the one. I
got
made
you there,
one
Weezy.
video. I
Oh,
made one video because I spent 3 months fucking flattening in Minecraft, but I'm not gonna go down that.
Yes. Weezy.
You should upload that.
Weezy, I would
I've,
like.
I've debated. Zesty told me to stream it, and ever since he gave that recommendation, I've debated it.
It's a good.
I would watch it.
I would watch it too. Weezy, I would like.
Just
to,
like
I
out
would-
of a pure appreciation for the pure dedication it takes.
Sure.
Can we get 2 Forts workers in the call and on the panel?
No. He's gonna be hammered again.
I think
Dude,
you would have a lot to add to the discussion.
Woody.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we can ask him to give us a play-by-play of our gameplay footage.
Just imagine his opinion on the soap versus pencil thing. I mean,
why would we ever pay Banny $5 to review our whatever they call it, our demo replays? Have this guy do it.
I agree.
Oh my god. Anyway, join Twerk Warrior on Saturdays in the Discord server if you really want to play good TF2.
Oh my If you want to play good TF2, join the Discord server. Guys, the Discord server.
What is good TF2? I'm curious as to what his definition is.
Guys, join my
it's
Discord
not bad.
server. Thank you.
No, it's true. It's not bad TF2.
It's not whatever Weezy's playing with his
307
and free-to-play pyro or whatever.
What do you mean? Someone in chat said 370 bots and only 10 people. That's his Discord server. Man. Wow. 5 seconds?
Man, I hate making filler videos like this. Okay, a Megatronic video coming soon. Bye.
Nice.
What?
I'm so
There's a solid outro. I love that.
Dude, I
outro.
love the thumbnail, man. The thumbnail's great. Backmans don't.
What the fuck? This is the same. No. Go.
It's the same thing.
Peak content. Good video.
Great video.
Stupid ass disguise on his face. It's pretty funny.
So I wanted.
Honestly, I like that one more than mine, to be honest.
I wanted to poison the well so that we all knew that the video we're about to watch is actually trash. Before we get into it.
It's about World of Warcraft.
It's about World of Warcraft. The guy says nothing in it. It's probably smelly.
Hang on, can we like I said, I have so much work to do, so I'm only gonna be here for a bit. Do you just want to like run over some general points instead of?
I think that might be good because I'm pretty sure most people here have already seen your video, Weezy, and already have.
Yeah, you guys could
an idea.
Yeah, we can like whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm down.
Yeah, go for it.
Because like I saw the stream with Zesty and Richter, and I was going in and I was prepared to be mad. I'm like, I am watching this to get mad and be pissed off. And then I watched it.
Well,
and
it's hard to be mad at the truth, Weezy. It's hard to be mad at the truth.
Okay, you can have true outcomes, but like bad reasonings for reaching that, and those reasonings could impede on the wellness of someone's character. And that's
you can get to the right answer using the wrong methods.
Yeah, but I thought actually, I saw some things. I'm like, maybe that's like a little bit of a nitpick I have. But like big picture wise, I think I agreed with like 90% of what you guys said. The only thing I disagree with is like the efficacy of a boycott. But it isn't really like I said earlier. It isn't based on like the Reddit chungish positivity angle. It's just like the pure practicality of it.
Why do you think it wouldn't work? I'm curious. Why do you think a financial boycott would not work in this case?
Sure. How about you tell me why it would work, and then we can work off that.
I think the same way any other financial boycott has worked before. You're hurting their bottom line, and I think it's very silly that
before you haul yourself into a corner with like one strand of the argument, it's not just like a everybody in the community let's stop buying shit. It's got to be like something that the active YouTuber sphere and all the public content creators and stuff is also promoting. It has
that's what I was going to say. You just cut me off before I could even get there.
Community. Okay, well, sorry. I was worried you were just going to go into like this is why
I said 5 words and you cut me off. Like, come on.
Well, Zesty, I was on your stream the other day and you cut me off 1,000 fucking times, so I got my payback. Okay.
There's a reason for it.
Okay. Hang on. So I agree with that, and I agree that's a core tenet that would need to be considered. My thing is, in order for people widespread, if you have an audience, to consider an idea worth pursuing, there actually needs to be an idea there. It can't just be, well, it'll all work if we band together. No, there has to be like something there that's tangible that can produce results. Like there has to be a line of logic, like if X, then Y. And so I want to know, why do you think a financial boycott, in service of solving the bot crisis, why do you think that would work?
Well, for me, it's a 1-2 punch. So historically, financial boycotts tend to work when game developers are doing something that players don't like. Your example with World of Warcraft is a quintessential textbook example of this. When I find it funny.
Okay, go ahead.
No, and I find it interesting that you use World of Warcraft as this example, but then also promote the idea of a financial boycott wouldn't work, because that's exactly what happened with World of Warcraft. When they were upset with the legacy server treatment, people started unsubscribing en masse. And it wasn't until that started happening, very publicly, mind you, it's a 1-2 punch. It's not only the financial negativity, but the social negativity being reflected back on the company. And they very clearly hated that because they hid they stopped publishing the subscription numbers, right, as damage control. So that's a 1-2 punch.
You're putting the cart before the horse there, though. The movement sprung as a result of Warlords of Draenor being shit. The mass sub count didn't decrease because of the movement going on. So it wasn't actually a financial boycott. It was a conveniently timed movement with the thing shutting down and the game simultaneously being shit.
Yep.
Now, no, that's still a financial boycott because the people were upset with what was going on with the game and stopped spending money on it.
Wait, can I?
Yeah, but when I think boycott, I think a movement motivated by the shit going on of like the, what would you call it?
Is that not what happened with World of Warcraft? Because that was motivated by how they were treating the game.
Indirectly, it was more so how they shut down legacy servers, not the treatment of WoD. But we can get off this because there are bigger there's like a bigger picture here that I prefer to explain. So your argument is this has worked with other games in the past. We can apply it to TF2. Why do you think it's worked with other games in the past?
It did. Once you start hitting their bottom line, when it starts reflecting on them negatively, then they take action.
Can I also have an extra answer to this? It's worked with other games in the past because there was the companies with the games that it worked with were financially motivated by the game in question, because it has to hurt. It has to be a enough of an influential game within that company for their bottom line being affected by that game's boycott to matter. If that makes sense.
Yeah, Zesty, can you respond to that? Because I'm actually curious of the argument of TF2 is such a small drop in the bucket that even if you boycott it, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
See, that I find that logic laughable because Valve is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Why would they willingly take on a $10 million a year deficit by suddenly turning off TF2? That makes absolutely no sense.
Hang on. Whoa. No, Richter, shut the fuck up. Richter, shut the fuck up.
Shut up, Weezy. Will you be quiet? You've been talking all stream. We had to watch your fucking video. Let me talk a little bit.
We did not watch this.
All right.
We watched your video. We watched 2 Fort twerkers fucking seethe about you owning free plays, okay? Listen, see, you made me fucking forget what I was about to say. I think people massively overstate just how like ridiculously profitable Valve is. Like, who knows what their fucking overhead is? Do you know how many servers they have to run? You know how, like, if they were an infinite money company, they would be valued as an infinite money company. Like, they, of course they have shit that they have to run. Nobody knows the and obviously they have to pay for the healthcare and insurance for all their fucking like 300 employees and shit. I imagine that it actually costs more to maintain Valve than anybody is giving it credit for.
That might be true.
I don't think they're as profitable as people are thinking it is.
Okay, fine. They have $8 billion, but they do $8 billion in revenue a year. They can find the money. But that's okay. I want to get back to the answer that you gave, Lucid. That it wouldn't work, or rather, that the logic.
If Valve was making $8 billion net every single year, they would be valued at a lot more than $7 billion. Okay, they're making $7 billion in revenue, but if they're not valued at some outrageous amount, then we can assume a pretty decent amount of that is going towards maintaining Steam servers and shit.
It's possible. I don't know their market cap. And can you find out easily? Because they're not.
I thought Valve was private.
You know, it is.
They
a
are not publicly traded.
They still have a market cap. Nothing. Okay, like in any case, like I'm trying to go down this like I have logical
all the shit that they just burn money on, like the Steam Deck and all the hardware shit. They shipped the Steam Deck at a loss.
Yeah, but I think the implication is that they'll make it back.
Eventually.
Not off Steam Decks.
It's not off Steam Decks. That's not the idea.
Not off Steam Decks.
It's supposed to be that they'll make it off of the money that they make from people using Steam.
I just hate this angle that they don't care. They just make infinite money constantly. Okay, if they made infinite money constantly, they'd be fucking valued at infinite money. That's not like that's like a little kid's idea of how a company works.
Okay, fine. Like that's an unimportant point to me right now. Okay, so fuck, where were we? Fuck. This is why I wanted to shut you up, because I knew we'd go down a rabbit hole.
Wait, Weezy. So I said there has to be the game being affected has to be a game relevant enough to the company that the boycotts would have some sort of major effect.
And
on
Zesty's response to that is that's laughable because they won't shut it down. Whoa. We're not at the shutdown part. I agree that's a stupid ass straw man. That's never gonna happen. I agree with that. My motion is like towards the efficacy of using that tactic as a tool to get Valve to listen. So my question is, why? Like your argument, if I'm misunderstanding, let me know, correct me, and we'll go from there. is that you believe that if you provide financial repercussions tied to Valve's inaction, then that will incentivize them to stop their inaction. Am I
so not just financial, but something tangible, something that they can actually feel and experience. Financial being the primary one that most people's minds go to. And this is my point about it being a 1-2 punch, right? Sure, $10 million. And by the way, that is a roughly accurate estimate. I saw people in the chat getting upset with that. This is a figure that I calculated not only knowing the percent key cut that workshoppers make, but also the revenue they earn within the first month of an update being launched. So actually 10 million is a conservative estimate based off of, and of course it varies a little bit based on update popularity and how many cases are opened, but TF2 earns Valve about, anywhere between $5 to $15 million a year. It's a range. So 10's in the middle of that. So even though it's only $10 million relatively compared to, like, say, CS2, which earns them about $5 billion a year, Steam, which earns them about $7 billion a year, obviously it's on like 2 orders of magnitude less. But that is still a deficit that would be incurred if people stop spending money on the game. And suddenly creating this vacuum of $10 million, oh shit, that's money they don't have anymore. That's suddenly not going to be replaced by something. It's going to hurt their bottom line because they rely on that $10 million as part of their budgeting. So that's one aspect to this. And then you have the other aspect, the social aspect of this, where if you have the biggest figures in the TF2 sphere, all the YouTubers, this big social outcry of we are no longer spending money on your game. That is the biggest kick to the dick in terms of their public image, where the people who have built entire careers on playing their game, spending money on their game, suddenly saying we're not doing this anymore, oh, fuck. That's going to reflect incredibly negatively on them. And then it's just going to have this constant feedback look of, oh, hey, shit, these big guys who spend money on the game all the time and play it are fed up. I should stop doing this too, because what's the point? And then it's just this big 1-2 punch of like, boom, fuck you socially, fuck you financially. And this becomes tangible in their court. The ball becomes in their court, right? And this will also be, and one more point. Let me finish one more point. And then one more point to this would be why downvoting, like, review bombing the game works, because if you're just crying about it on social media, this is something Valve can completely ignore. But when you put the ball in their court by taking it to their platform and making not only look bad on their platform, but a game on their platform look bad, that reflects incredibly negatively on them. And they don't want that. That's why a financial boycott would work.
So there's a lot there.
Sorry, wait. Weezy, before you respond, I want to let you know that I have a question to ask you when you're done responding. Don't let me forget. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Or sorry, I'll do this first. So, like, the social element part, I completely agree with that. I'm not going to ever deny that. But the social, like, the being able to drum up that support from a wide range of YouTubers relies on it having there being an efficacious plan in place. And so this is where, like, I would argue that the financial aspect, like, you need to prove that, and you need to prove it's important, and you need to prove that there would be, like, value for people to incur a personal harm. Like what we're doing now, like, you sign a petition, you make a tweet, it's like whatever, right? But for someone to actually invoke personal unenjoyment on themselves in order to enjoy or rather be part of a movement.
Oh no, stop gambling. I mean, sure, it's reductive, but, like, yeah, stop spending keys on, like, stop buying keys for TF2.
No, I completely, I understand what you're saying. But the point is that there needs to be a clear, if I do this, if I incur this problem on myself that I don't want to do. And I'm not saying me, by the way. People say it's a conflict of interest. It isn't. If it was, like, I'm the one person in the world who benefits from the bot problem, and I'm the one fucking leading the charge on this shit. So fuck off with that conflict of interest stuff. But
how do you gain from the bot problem? Are you a bot hoster?
Yes, Richter. I'm a bot hoster.
Seriously, what the fuck does that mean?
As in, if PvP goes to shit, everyone goes to the PvE mode, and I make more money.
No, they just go to fucking community servers. Nobody fucking plays MVM. That's made up.
Actually, okay. How about let me rephrase. Everyone loses, but I lose the least.
I guess, but that's whatever.
Okay, so here's my point. Okay, so your argument on, like, the financial end is even though, like, I'm not sure if you're saying that 10 million's a big number, or sorry, you're saying it's orders of magnitude lower. So my question is, if losing a shitload of money would prompt Valve to act, or prompt them to have an increased chance of acting, I mean, the bot crisis has been going on for 4 years. They have lost way more than $10 million in old player retention and new player integration into the game over the past 4 years, and they haven't changed their tune. So
That's
I don't
'cause they've
see
been
how...
asleep at the
You would be
wheel.
very surprised as to how stable the number of human players has been over the past 10 years, based on the data that I've been looking at.
Stable.
And it's actually a lot of the same people who've been playing the game for many years now. Some newer players, it's like 60-40. 40% newer players who started playing after 2017, and 60% people who've been playing before 2017. And generally, once someone sticks around, then they actively start spending money on the game and start trading into the game and start putting money into the game, right?
Stable, perhaps, but there is an argument to be made that with all the media and all like the growth of YouTube and the internet in the past 5 years, that number should probably tick up a bit.
It didn't.
Yeah, it didn't, and that's kind of my point. Is because it didn't, there like that gap. The reason why it didn't is because the game's in a fucking unplayable state, and I don't think Valve is unaware of that.
No, Valve is fully aware of the problem. But my point is that it's still earning them these millions of dollars, regardless if the player base is growing or not.
Right. And
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Please.
I just want to.
Go ahead.
This is a good time for me to interject my question. Weezy, do you think that Zesty, as well as everyone else's who contributed, do you think that their criticism of TF2's cosmetics and their quality contributed to the summer and winter cases, the recent ones?
When was I contributing to cosmetic discussion? I was never part of that.
Did I say Richter? I meant to say Zesty. I'm sorry. You know what I meant.
No, I completely, or it might not have been Zesty directly, but Zesty started like a more like community outcry, and based on that, the developers modified their changes a bit. That I completely agree with. The reason why I don't think that's comparable is like it's not that I don't think Valve will devote effort to TF2. It's that I think they need an appropriate effort to reward ratio of doing it. Like if you're gonna swap out all the bullshit ass Christmas cosmetics and replace it with shit that people want, like what's the increased amount of time investment that you have to put into doing that? Like an extra hour?
Not even.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, maybe not. Like you just go to like what's the most upvoted shit, fucking pick that, and then process as usual. So that is just like it's free money for like no effort, basically. So I understand why they do that there.
No, yeah, but here's the thing. That still shows that they care about the money that TF2 is earning them.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, so Weezy, that's not my point. My point is that is an example of them hearing the community and being affected. That is an example of Zesty's 1-2 punch working, if you agree that is or Zesty's idea for a 1-2 punch working, because it was the combination of people buying less cases, because that was one of the worst selling, the recent winter 2023 or
the winter 2021 case was the worst performing case in the game's history.
So
you're not wrong.
So
no, you're not wrong at all. My point is that I think the 1-2 punch absolutely works when the effort to reward ratio is there. And for some reason, I think over the past 4 years, we've all concluded that in Valve's eyes, they don't think it's there. They don't think the constant upkeep and treadmill work, which I hate that term, I know you do too, but that's how they view it. It's a bunch of fucking treadmill work. They don't want to do it. They don't view the effort to reward ratio as worth it. And that's just the way it is.
Do you not think it would become more worth it if the reputation of Valve went down in combination with people pulling out of the game financially?
Would it be more worth it? Perhaps. Would that be the catalyst for the change? I mean, I don't know, man. How many people have just like fucking stopped playing or like never got introduced and stopped playing the game? Or like you say that player counts have been stagnant. Like realistically, with all the publicity it's gotten, it should probably be going up, but it's stagnant because the game fucking sucks dick, and I'm pretty sure Valve knows that. So the only point I'm making is that a boycott pulls on the exact same levers of like inaction and accountability a financial disincentive and inaction.
Here's the thing with that though. The social stink over the bots just has not been there. I'll toot my own horn for a moment, because I made it happen with cosmetics. I was the first one that actively started speaking out the cosmetics at a wide enough scale for Valve to get enough people on board and for Valve to take action, right? There has not been enough of a wide enough stink when it comes to the bot problem in order for it to reflect on the financial and social fronts, right? To where it's widely publicly understood and known. And that needs to happen.
I would agree with that. Do you think that is impossible to accomplish without a boycott?
I think it will be far, far less effective if you remove the financial element. Because it makes it that much less tangible in Valve's court.
Weezy, honestly, I don't see any downside Like I just don't see any downside to just telling people stop spending money on the game. Like just
Oh no,
it's just the right thing to do. It's
no,
it's like good to not let people sink all their money into a fucking.
No, I'm
game.
with you. I'm with
thing.
you there. Yeah, on a personal level, I've never in a million years said no. You need to keep spending money on the game or else it'll die. I think people who make that argument are fucking morons.
I was gonna say
the only point that I'm. Yeah, no, I've heard it too. I think it's dumb. The only point that I'm making is. And by the way, that's just the right there. That is the you have like the practicality argument, and then you also have the feasibility argument. And I'm actually not sure how much how much it would make a difference just on like a feasibility issue front. Because remember, like all the fucking big dogs, all the whales, they're using third-party sites. Valve doesn't get any cut of that. And then on the contrary, like fucking
my friends. Oh, if only you knew how many keys these motherfuckers buy every time there's a new update. I personally know several traders that probably open 6,000 to 7,000 cases every time a new update comes out.
And they're buying them off the Steam market?
They're buying them direct. Well, of course, they have to come from Valve first before they become tradable.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Sure. Yeah. Like when an update comes out, not like in the midst of the lull in content.
No, yeah, like 2 or 3 years later. No, of course, there's a higher volume of keys that have already been purchased from Valve that are out there in circulation. But when a brand new update comes out, they earn within the opening month about 95% of the revenue that case is going to pull.
Yeah, I believe that. Sure.
And all of those sales are coming through the Manco store.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I'm actually
for the first week, right? Because otherwise, it's not tradable.
I've become more amenable. Like I used to think it was like a slight negative, and after watching your stream, after hearing your elaboration, I'm more neutral on it for sure. I'm not sure it would be the catalyst that would be necessary, because we have to remember, like, there's something about this. I don't think that would increase the effort to reward ratio in the eyes of Valve if we boycott shit. I really don't, because they're going to say.
I strongly disagree with that. I strongly disagree, because why wouldn't you give them multiple reasons? Why would you only give them the social one and not the financial one to back that up?
Yeah, that's
why I said it's going to make it that much less effective.
Because they've been dealing with the financial one for fucking 4 years, and
no, they haven't. No, they haven't. In fact, they've started earning more money after 2021 with TF2. It's turned around.
They could be earning even more. And I'm pretty sure they're fucking aware of that. Like,
no, it could be. Yeah, of course, it could be earning even more.
But they could be making so much more money right now.
Here's the thing. It could be earning them even more money, and they could put in just a shred more of extra effort to do even better content selections. And it could be earning them a lot more if the game was playable and actually retaining players. But that's my point. It's still earning them. But here's my point. It's still earning them money, and they take action when it starts earning them less money. That is another very clear influential factor that would work.
Apparently not, because they've been down on their margins comparatively to what they should be getting if we had a bot-free game. They're obviously aware of that, and they've done nothing.
No, yeah, because they can do less effort for more money anyways. But if we really hit them where it hurts and have like a serious deficit, and the obvious problem put at the forefront is the bots and the cheaters, I see no problem. I see no problem in hitting them at another angle instead of only focusing on the social one.
Yeah. So Weezy, I'm not even on the argument of like whether or not it would work. I just don't see any harm in trying. I'm at that point now. If you wanna organize something, I'll join you 100%.
But here's the thing. Like, I can't do that. I as an individual cannot organize like another fix TF2, save TF2 thing. You and your, as you said, cabal of YouTubers are the most influential sphere right now and are spearheading this. And every angle should be incorporated into that. I don't see why you have to omit other things that would be effective.
Yeah, I just don't see there being a downside. That's all.
No, I'm actually, after hearing your explanation on your stream about like your the more like symbolic measures of it, I don't think there is much of a downside. I don't think it'll move the needle as much as you hope, man.
What if it's the right thing to do, Weezy? What if it's the right thing to tell people to pull out of this game before they lose all their money on it? What if it's the right thing to tell them to stop gambling in this fucking stupid ass 17-year-old game about hats?
I fucking did. I cashed my shit out because when I found out that there's fucking 50,000 bots every day at minimum, I'm like, fuck this. Why am I giving this game company my money?
Okay, sure. But also, were you kind of worried that all your shit would immediately tank in value? Was that not a concern also?
No, of course it was also a concern, but it was also for the fact that I'm like, why am I willingly dumping all this money and supporting this game and this company when they're letting it decay to this extent? And I just sold all my shit. I was done. I'm done.
I don't blame anyone for not spending money on this game. It's a fucking shit show, obviously. I'm just like, but again, like more and more people are gonna think like that over time, not spending money, and like Valve appears to not be doing anything. It's just the simple, to not be that big of a deal.
It's like the simple 1-2 punch of like, oh well, the bots are killing the game, so we got to start acting like it's a dying game, like it is. Like that's really as simple as it is.
Yeah, I agree with that, but that's like on a personal level, on like a collective movement. Or
I mean,
like
on a financial level, I think
movement.
that's the responsible thing to do is to.
No, yeah, and the most tangible thing for
also,
Valve.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're ready for this. I just woke up and I'm eating fucking peanut butter crackers. I have no idea how to tap into any of this.
No, and here's the thing, right? No, yeah, because I mean, I fucking care about this. I love this game, and I want it to thrive. I want some tangible change to happen, and every angle needs to be taken in order for that to happen. And the most tangible thing to Valve is the money, because they act for the money.
I would like to think that. I really would love to think
they're a corporation.
Right. Yeah, and apparently they don't give a shit because they're losing how much fucking money from the bot crisis over the past 4 years, and they've still done nothing.
Well, here's the other thing, right?
If they care that much, there should be some change, right?
But here's the other thing, right? They also keep TF2 propped up because it props up their other microeconomies. They do the bare minimum to keep TF2 going because it acts as a pillar for the CS2 and Dota markets as well.
I agree with that. Yes, that's true.
And that's also another reason why they wouldn't just shut the game off, right? But they understand, and that's the thing, right? They don't care that much about the money that TF2 is earning them. They care more about preserving and keeping stable the CS2 and Dota markets. If we show instability in the TF2 market, that would also send some waves through CS2 and Dota. It's like, oh shit, we don't want to rock the boat too hard on these babies earning us billions of dollars a year. Let's attend to TF2 for a bit to quell their concerns and restabilize that.
I never thought of that point. I actually think that's interesting because then you're tearing on a node in the network, right? It's not this isolated IP. So
no, of course, yeah.
I think there's definitely a point to be made with that.
No, yeah. If you have the microeconomy that fathered all microeconomies suffering, and then the other games like the game spheres of CS2 and Dota look at that and go, oh. Why is this economy failing? Why is this game falling apart? And that's starting to happen in CS2 as well, where Valve is very clearly showing their hand with their neglect on that game's front. And it's starting to, make people uncomfortable. Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
What I'll say is I won't leak anything, but Richter did tell me a thing, and I really like this thing. And I hope you know what I'm talking about, but I'll leave it there.
Thing is too vague. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll tell you off stream. But like, I thought it was.
I don't care. What was it?
No, I don't want to steal your guys' thunder. So we're keeping it secret.
All right.
But I like it. Is what I'm saying.
I wanted to say.
Can you DM me, Weezy? Just like tell me what it is.
I wanted to say that when Zesty started talking earlier, there was an earthquake in Japan, like a noticeable one. That was really cool.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It started shaking. I was like, okay.
Like my entire desk started swaying when you started talking. That was fucking wild. That was an experience.
You can say that, Weezy. That's not even my original idea. People have said that before.
Oh yeah, you guys have been having earthquake swarms since like 3 days ago. Look at this shit. Ooh, here we go.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Holy fuck! Yeah, you guys you've had like 5 Mag 5s in 20 hours. What the fuck?
Somebody said 2 Fort Twerker just hit Japan.
I've only felt this most recent one. But...
I wonder how big it was. If you felt it, it was big enough to. It was big enough to feel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sure. I just think I think in regards to the boycott idea, like I think you're not necessarily looking at the entire big picture here. In that, sure, TF2's income is steady, but they should be making a shitload more money, and Valve's well aware of that. So I think all the levers that's being pulled for the past 4 years, you're pulling the same levers with the boycott, and if it didn't work for the past 4 years, I'm not entirely sure why it'd work now. But I do think the cross, what would you call it?
It'll work more now if you take the angle of not only focusing on TF2 like you mentioned earlier, but focusing on Valve as a whole. And how they're neglecting their other titles, and this is going to be the future for their other games as well. This is already happening with CS2. If you bring in these other spheres and highlight the neglect that these other games are facing, it's going to be that much more impactful. And that includes the financial aspect of TF2 because it has repercussions on the other markets.
Sure, I think that's a better point. That deserves more thought, I think. Fuck, I had more to say. Oh yeah, did you were you fuck? I don't know if it was you. Did you say like the save TF2 thing? It's not a carrot on a stick situation. It's a carrot and a stick. Was that you or did I read that somewhere?
Me.
I'm pretty sure that's us.
Okay. Because I remember hearing that and I thought it was very smart. And in my video, basically, like people try to draw the parallels with Valve, and that actually wasn't what I was trying to do, or rather, like the one-to-one parallels at every angle you can look at it. The point of that video was to say, look, this community made a very fucking big carrot for Valve, and they proved that carrot existed. And I just think that we can prove a very big carrot. Now, Zesty, you want a really big stick, and I'm not saying we don't need a big stick. I think we should have a big stick, but I just think Valve has been whacked with they've been whacked with the
what's your fucking
financial
what's your
punishment stick
then,
for 4 years.
Weezy, do you think we should do fix TF2 by everybody give a lot of money to Valve so they all know that we can make a bunch of fucking?
No,
that's basically what the original one.
I mean,
turned out
we're
to be.
gonna find out tomorrow, right? Because you're not gonna drop the ball early and tell us exactly what your
Yeah.
plan is here. But
Sure.
I'm
What I will
dead
say-
curious as to what your angle is going to be on all of this. Like, what is the crux of this next movement you're going to do, aside from making Valve look as bad as possible?
I mean, that's kind
Because if that's just it, that's good, but it's not enough.
I'm serious,
Well-
though, Weezy. What do you mean by like a carrot for Valve? Why should we give them a fucking carrot for what they're doing to the game? That's,
No,
like,
when I say
outrageous.
carrot, no, what I mean is you need a numerical representation of the amount of people that you could serve, and then you could extrapolate that towards like, okay, only 10% of our dedicated player base, I don't know, like sign this petition or whatever, and then you can extrapolate that, okay, maybe it's like 2.5 million people would come back or some shit.
Didn't
and
we
then,
already
oh,
kind of
maybe
do that with the likes on the fucking TF2? We Hear You, whatever, had like more likes than the fucking Half-Life
that's one
Alyx
example.
announcement. I mean,
That's one example, but I don't think it's concrete enough.
I don't know, whatever. I think we need. To
I
be
think
in the
it's
space, that's my
concrete
take.
enough, and I think it's very concrete in all the social spheres. You have a massive audience who's very fond of this game, and that's all you need. That doesn't necessarily have to translate into people playing the game and spending money on it. That still represents a potential consumer base, and there are a lot of fucking people out there.
No, we actually were completely in agreement on this. My only contention is I don't think any company would say, oh, hey, this tweet got a lot of likes. Fuck it, let's drop everything and rethink our entire development strategy. I think
and that's my point about why a social media movement isn't going to do it, because that's not tangible in their court. It's something they can simply ignore because it only exists on Twitter. You have to bring it to them.
Well, that's I think that's a separate point, because what I was arguing is that tweet acted as a carrot, but I think you need more than one carrot. I think you need multiple carrots as like proof of, okay, fine, we can invest more resources into it. We'll, the effort to reward ratio will be better than what you could get with other endeavors. And I don't think they see it that way.
You don't even need to make the carrot. The carrot's already there. The carrot is in the form of the income they get from the game and the incredibly dedicated player base that will stick around in the absolute worst of times and keep spending money and playing on that game.
But it could be a way bigger carrot.
It could, but you need to show what they have now and impact what they have now, right? That they already understand the potentials. They know full well how well TF2 can do, but to them it's not worth it. So you have to impact what's going into their wallets right now. That's the important thing. And they already know that they can do a bare minimum and earn millions of dollars, right? You have to show that is in danger. That's where you have to hit them.
But not only that it's in danger, but they have an option of getting it back. Once you fix the problems, we will come back. That should be clear.
I don't disagree, but you have to keep in mind, like fixing the bot problem is like a fucking Herculean task for them. If it wasn't, it'd be fixed already.
It's not an excuse. They have the resources. They can hire the manpower. They can fucking do it.
100%. I agree with that, but you have to look at it from their perspective of, is this worth it? It might even be the case that we trash their revenue for TF2 by like 80% and they still don't do anything, because like the very fact of like revamping their anti-cheat,
it's not
that might
just
be so Herculean that they don't give a shit.
Thing is, it's not just hurting TF2's revenue. Again, it's causing instability in all of their markets, because if the CS2, Dota, and the other markets see that TF2 is really shitting itself, that's going to create severe instability with their other markets as well.
I wanted to also bring up, you guys and or the TF2 community as a whole got really fucking lucky because like the whole Deadlock stuff happened like 2 days ago, and it's still going on, and it makes Valve look really bad. Because
that's true.
I've seen literally no one say anything positive except for like the what saying that the character design of the big fat robot guy was cool. And
we've got a wide range of reactions, ranging from "What the fuck is this shit?" to "I hope this isn't real." Like that's
like so. If you guys wanted to pick any time to make Valve look bad and make their markets look unstable, this would be the ideal time. But I think making the markets of not just TF2, but just all of their games as a whole, if you make a compelling argument that their games aren't safe for people to be investing money in, that will cause Valve to pause. That, and in addition to all of the social stuff, making making the games that people put money in as an investment look unstable and unreliable because of what is happening to TF2, and extending that to other games is a really good angle. And
it always goes back to the money.
It is a very good angle, and I'm
completely in alignment with you. That is all about the money, and in their eyes, I think they think that it just costs too much fucking money to fix the problem, so they're like, "Fuck it, let it fester."
Yeah, but if they let it fester too long, we can show that it's gonna become a problem for their other games. We need to highlight that's what's slowly happening with CS2 as well. They're like, they don't care. They're not dealing with the cheaters in that game. They don't give a fuck. They're not dealing with the idle bots in that game. They don't give a fuck because the game still prints them, $4 billion a year. But if they keep letting that problem fester, it's gonna start hurting their bottom line there. Like, it's just now starting to happen with CS2, and now they're starting to show the first signs of milking the game for all it's worth before they abandon it and move on to their next project. And we saw that with the update the game saw yesterday. With now you can have a weekly subscription service for their fucking skins.
It's fucking absurd. It's ridiculous. What the fuck?
So now they're showing that they're wanting to milk the game for all it's worth before they, again, completely abandon it. It's fucking insane.
For another IP that they're obviously... I mean, what if the Deadlock... what if the Deadlock anti-cheat is like just as bad? I think we'd have a fucking real slam dunk on our hands.
See, here's the problem there is it's not even really a Valve game. It's like, it's made by their like Dota team. It's like the Ice Frog people. It's not even really Valve isn't even making it. It's just people who happen to work at Valve. Like Robin Walker.
But that's another asset.
You said fucking Zesty, you said Robin Walker isn't working on it. That's like the guy who worked on everything at Valve. He worked on Counter-Strike.
No, the entire development team has been leaked. I got images from inside their Discord of everyone that's working on it, and it's all like you said. It's all the Dota people.
Yeah, it's not even remotely like most of the people who like fucking worked on
and there,
TF2
and there are some
aren't at Valve anymore. Like, it's not.
There are some OG TF2 devs on it. Like the guy that designed all of the original weapons is working on it. The TF2 weapons, he's working on it, and some other guys who did TF2 stuff are working on it as well. So it's mostly older people that work at Valve for many years now that are making this new game.
I don't know.
Okay.
Which is also somewhat alarming.
Do you mind if I ask you? Do you mind if I ask you, Zesty? Or like anyone here can answer actually. If we boycott TF2, and we'll do the best conditions possible. So it's a major fucking update, and we'll say half of all modern TF2bers promote it, and that'll be like the centerpiece of like Save TF2 3 or whatever the fuck. What do you think the chances are that Valve responds and actually devotes more resources to the bot crisis?
I think much higher than simply making it a social movement.
I think our odds would be a lot higher if you guys hadn't done what you did last time.
Hang on, but like a lot higher. If here's the truth: if it's even 5 times higher, that's still a 95% chance of failure, and I'm not sure if people want to gimp their own fun for like those odds.
Here's what you have to do. Here's all you have to do. You have to show that this market is not something they can abuse, like a child or a spouse or something. Whenever TF2 releases their next update, just don't open the new case. Don't buy a single fucking key. Deprive them of the $5 million they would have received in that opening month. And they'll go, uh-oh, what's this? And then all the other markets are going to view that like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are TF2 fans not suddenly stop like buying keys all of a sudden, right? It could just be temporary. Right? It's not like this new lifelong commitment. You just have to do it one good gut punch to their fucking wallet. That's all you need.
I was going to say I personally believe this movement has a better likelihood of succeeding than the first one did.
I agree.
What are you talking about?
But No, I mean based purely off. I think it will be more successful than the first one, is what I was trying to say.
I agree with that because I have my hands in it, obviously.
Well, just look.
No, it's gonna do better this time around because it's not being co-opted by this weird we can't touch Valve, we can't say negative things about Valve aspect. That alone is already going to be an improvement.
A little bit. That's still slimed over it a little bit.
No, yeah, it already has, and that's kind of hurting my own confidence in this as well. Like I'm seeing Reddit posts that are like at the top saying, "Oh, here's the save TF2 thing, but with the boycott aspect removed, or like with the negativity removed." Like I don't get that.
And that's like the Reddit wholesome chunga shit, and like I'm not on that train.
No, of course not. But here's my point: is that like
these critiques that they're adjusting now, these aren't things that have only become, obvious or apparent in the last like 2 years. Like people were saying this was going to happen when it happened. People were saying you're being too positive, you're not addressing the problem, and they got shit on. So it's whatever. You guys are adjusting shit. It's like too little, too late, in my opinion.
I think you have to make it. You have to make the negative aspect I think you can renaming the movement to fix TF2 to indicate that there is a problem, which rather than save TF2, which sounds like melodramatic by comparison.
Sure.
I think that's a really good start. I just think that making the negative stuff literally as explicit and obvious as possible, which I'm sure you're doing, that's what you do.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm Adderall brained right now, so I'm all over the place today. So when I said in the video, the standard should be everyone should look at the tweet within 5 seconds and immediately know what the problem is. That's kind of been the basis for how I've been making some executive decisions to there's a lot of shit talking Valve. I'll say that much. And I'll just be honest, like maybe I shouldn't say this publicly, but like it wasn't there originally, and then I came in and did it because I feel like that's an important thing that needs to be done.
Because I was in your ear, Wheezy, because I've been whispering
No,
in your ear.
I'm not even kidding. No, yes. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I credit you, Richter. I do, because I was looking at this. I'm like, I mentioned Valve a bit. I'm like, oh, the discussion with you actually prompted me to be like, no, wait. Like,
so
fucking
you heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. If Valve fixes TF2, it's my doing.
Enough with
it's my doing.
Enough with the self-elation. I'm curious. Enough with the self-elation. I'm curious here. So you didn't set this off. This was someone else who was starting round 2 or 3 or whatever we're on now, and then you stepped in.
We had talks about this, and I said I wanted to make a video, just kind of somewhat trying to make a bigger carrot and see if we could show Valve how much money you would fucking make. Because of like you could like I said, make a petition. There's like a fucking how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of people will sign it, and then you can extrapolate how much money you could make based on that or some shit.
I still think that's the wrong way of going about it, but we already discussed why. We already discussed why.
Yeah, but you're not like like you said, no. Like carrot and a stick. I'm saying that's the carrot. I'm not saying that's the carrot and the stick. I'm just saying that's the carrot. Okay?
No, yeah, that's the carrot. But
they're not stupid. They know that people like TF2. Like what? That's like an extremely convoluted and strange way to try to demonstrate.
Yeah,
like,
they're already fully aware of the carrot. Like they know the carrot can be very big, but it's not worth it for them to pursue said carrot. The
they're
carrot
not like
exists.
5-year-olds. They're not like, oh, I wonder if people will play this game if there were less bots. I don't know.
No, of course
maybe,
they know, but they don't. I don't know if they have a sheer grasp of the sheer scale.
Oh, they do. They fully understand how many people love this game.
I'm not sure they do, because if they did, they would fucking fix the bot problem.
Thing is, it's still not worth it to them because they're still earning a reasonable amount of revenue with minimal effort, and we have to show that, and we have to show more. No, I know, but like you said, it's not worth it to them. So we have to show them that even this amount of revenue that they're still managing to squeeze out of the game, even that is in danger, and then even that can be reflected on their other economies. That's where it's going to hit them where it hurts. Not saying the carrot argument isn't effective, but they're fully aware. They're fully aware of the carrot. They're not ignorant of the carrot. They're ignorant. They're ignorant of the stick, is my opinion.
I think they're aware there's a carrot. I'm not sure how they know how big the carrot is. That's my point.
I think they do. I don't think Valve is stupid. I don't think they're that dumb.
I think they are, because if they didn't know, like, why is the bot crisis not fixed? Like the amount of fucking money they're leaving on the table.
Well, because they don't have to do the treadmill work to earn what they for all we know, right? Valve could see it as I either do the work and get like a marginal amount of money, I either do the work and potentially get a lot of money, but I don't know, or Valve could see it as I do the work and I get the same amount of money. And in 2 of those 3 situations, it's not worth it for them.
Well, yeah, so you have to show them that they do
those ones are more
likely
to actualize.
So, Weezy, can I want to give you some insight that I think very few people have in terms of how successful TF2 is, especially since it's from. So, the time window I'm referencing here is when the game went free to play up until Meet Your Match. The game hit its height in popularity in terms of revenue from after the game went free to play up through about 2014. And then when Valve was realizing just how profitable a live service game could be with Counter-Strike and also incorporating their skins market into there, they realized that they could try to have the same thing happen with TF2. Because always, compared to Counter-Strike, TF2 was earning them far, far less. TF2 was never this hundreds millions of dollars annual game. It was always in the tens of millions. Always. Pretty much since its inception, since it had an economy. And the game just never got that big. They tried to make it that big by incorporating monetization aspects from Counter-Strike into TF2 with campaigns, with skins, contracts, all of these things that were buy-in optional features that were very successful in TF2. They tried shoehorning that into, that were successful in Counter-Strike. They tried shoehorning that into TF2 to start milking more money out of it. But it was not successful. TF2 stopped growing after the game went free to play. Player counts were stagnant and started going down through 2014, through 2015. They could not get the game to grow like they wanted it to. And their last ditch effort was to take it towards the competitive esports competitive game angle with Meet Your Match, and then it completely bombed. And they realized, shit, it was never that worth it to them to keep nurturing TF2 in the right way to make it grow into their new billion-dollar game. And they understood that TF2 couldn't grow into the billion-dollar game because it wasn't accessible enough. You need a much simpler game to access, like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is a much more easy game to access and understand than TF2 is. And that's why it could grow at such an exponential rate compared to TF2.
I just wanted to ask, why do you think Jungle Inferno was the last update?
Jungle Inferno was their last. Jungle Inferno was already mostly made. Like all the maps, most of the assets, all that stuff already existed years before the update was even put together.
But why is it the last one?
Well, because it was their last ditch effort to see if there was any interest left in the game, if they could get people to come back for their updates like they used to in years past. But because they had implemented the shitty matchmaking system, and I remember this vividly, you had tons of people coming back. And then once they realized that the matchmaking system was here to stay, they all jumped ship. They were hoping and praying that Jungle Inferno was going to change it, but then it was too little too late. And then once that happened and Valve realized, shit, we're not going to get player retention anymore, they just dropped it. And they kept it as background revenue. They just kept it as background revenue.
I'd like to address your carrot thing, because I've been thinking about this. I think everybody knows that Valve thinks about stuff in terms of billions. They reject big ideas because that makes $0 billion, like a famous quote or whatever. I think the real crux of why I disagree with your entire carrot thing is because there's no world where we can if Valve's I'm sorry, I just fucking woke up. If Valve's idea of what is worth doing is based on its the idea's connection to the ability to make $1 billion. There's never going to be a scenario where we can convince Valve that TF2 can make $1 billion because it just never will. We're never going to be able to do that for them, right? And so I think better off than trying to convince them of something that's just fake. We're better off trying to swat it down with a stick and hope that when it comes tumbling down, it affects their other shit that does make them $1 billion. That's my thought.
Sorry, I was just bouncing off.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been talking a lot. Go ahead.
I agree that I think that in most situations, like in life, the best way to the hardest way is usually the most effective one, or the most effective one is usually the hardest one, or the most unlikely. I think that it's incredibly unlikely, but you have to swing for the fences, and I think that trying to make this more of a general Valve problem that originates with TF2 is the best way that you're going to make TF2 look like the problem that needs to be fixed for Valve.
I was just about to say that. I think that is 100% correct. I think that is the best angle you can take, and that's something I've tried to usher the movement towards for a second go.
But is it? Are they going to do that?
I'll tell you, I will, and I'll do my best to influence if I feel it's going in the opposite direction.
So the answer is no. That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. I have influence because I kind of.
The thing is, Weezy, you have influence, but if you can't get the other bigger names you're working with on board with this idea, it's going to fail.
I think I can. I'm gonna try.
I hope you can. I hope you can.
Sure, I'll do my best. Okay, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I really appreciate these discussions. I think this is far more productive than just like the fucking it's dead, it's over, give up, like that kind of bullshit. I fucking hate it, dude.
No, I hate it too. I really don't like the uncharitable negativity that people kind of spew out over this kind of thing. It is fucking bullshit how Valve handles
We're stubborn
this.
as fuck. We're stubborn in different ways, but we're stubborn as fuck. We're not giving up.
Weezy, I want to add one more thing. Another angle to go with this in that regard, with the whole like this is a general Valve problem. You could also take the angle that this is what is happening to TF2. If TF2 like rides it into the sunset. And by rides it means like limps into the sunset and then collapses in the desert, then that is the fate. That's the probable fate of all live service games, because it doesn't give any reason for Valve or any other live service company to treat their games any different. Which means that other games that people love will likely take the same exact path at some point, and one day they just won't be played anymore.
The only reason why I'm not like I completely agree with all of that, and fuck. I hate giving credit to Richter. I really do, because he's been so fucking annoying. But it's true. You've been like so smart on this issue the past few days. And the only reason I'm not doing it is because I think that's better designed for you and Zesty. And you might say like, oh, well, you're the community villains. No one's going to listen to you. Well, if you kind of do what you kind of want to do, I think we'll be in a situation where the incentives will be there for everyone.
Weezy, here's my anxieties with your current fix TF2 movement, is that I just think you guys are addressing the problems that were there with the last one, but I feel like it's really superficial. I feel like you guys are changing it just as much as you can like hold on to this golden egg of like, yeah, this is like a wholesome community movement. And the reason I say that is because Shork's tweets still seem directionless. He still seems like he has no idea what he's doing. I still think the clicky YouTuber circle jerk element is there.
I don't think so. I think
you've told me all these times. You've told me all these times about how a bunch of these TF2 YouTubers, actually don't even really want to keep playing the game. They want to leave.
That's
and I look
true.
at these people's Steam pages, and they started playing in 2019. So there's clearly a huge sect of people who are a part of this movement who are only very, very like I hate to say superficially again, but superficially interested in this. They're just they're like less so interested in advocating for the advances or the interests of like TF2's player base. They're more so just interested in, well, I guess if whatever Shork does works out, then me being a part of this gets me scribed into the halls of TF2 history. And I think
that's massively overblown.
I disagree. I don't think it's overblown at all. And I have a very anecdotal and tangential evidence to this as well, where I see a lot of other bigger figures currently in the TF2 sphere who are really only riding this game as a stepping stone onto their bigger internet careers. They're not that invested, and they don't care that much about this game to really say what needs to be said or do what needs to be done. You have all these very superficially involved YouTubers and figures now who are just using TF2 to build an audience, and they don't really care that much. And I personally, I'm not like blanket sweeping all YouTubers are doing this, but very clearly a lot of the bigger names are doing this. I just find it sad. I find it sad that these are the people that we are using to spearhead a movement that should be targeted towards the people that genuinely care about TF2, when these people do not. And that comes off as disingenuous, and that hurts the movement.
There's a lot to cover there. First of all, I mean, Richter, you use the point of like they only played since 2019 as like a shot against them, bro. Come on, that's 5 years ago. If you play a game for 5 years, like come on, people can like games after 5 years and hold genuine interest in their attempts to.
And that's true.
You're
absolutely right.
Okay, I'll let Zesty go. Everybody's here for the main event, is Zesty versus Weezy anyway, so.
I really don't think we're
not against each other here at all. We both want this to happen. We just have different views on the right way of handling it.
And we're like on the same road, like pretty much the whole way. We just like take different turns at the end. And even then, I'm not saying now. After I heard more of your context, I don't think it's a bad road to go down. But I do want to defend the people in there a bit, because I don't think people have intentionally used TF2 as a future stepping stone for a future career. I mean, some of them
incorrect.
That's
objectively false.
The ones that I don't know, sure, but a lot of them who plan on quitting, they never planned on quitting from the start. They planned on quitting. Now they want to quit because the fucking game is dog shit, and they hope it gets better.
They were just never that into it. They were never that into TF2.
Okay, Weezy, define stepping stone before I answer.
Like building a big core TF2 audience, because this is a very dedicated fan base, and then taking that audience and attempting to branch out into other things, you know, TF2 bubble and all that. Go watch Lucid's video, by the way.
I was going to say,
is that what you wanted?
Well, no, that was not why. That was not why. But do go watch my video; it's very good. No. But no, what I was going to say was, depending on how you qualify that, I fall into that category, and I disprove your point because I would argue that I've done that. I don't think it's necessarily even a bad thing. There's a reason I am not leading the save TF or the fix TF2 movement. It's because most people don't even really think of me. I know this from anecdotes, but most people don't really think of me as a TF2 YouTuber. And that's because I don't think it necessarily hurts the movement for people who aren't TF2bers to be a part of it. It's more just when you get together and you want the people you want to be the face of it are the people who have dedicated their careers entirely to it. That's what I think personally.
And have the highest level of vested interest and care in the game.
Yes.
Well, I think it's disaffected people with big platforms, and I think that's all that there is to it, really. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. It's just people with big platforms who are disaffected.
Players lose. The players lose. The YouTubers win, and the fucking players lose. It's the motif.
How are you losing
every time?
Well, okay, so Weezy, what Richter is saying. From his perspective, this is a movement that YouTubers are going to latch onto, not because they want to see the game succeed, but because they want personal success for themselves.
And I think that's just massively overblown. I think that's crazy, and I think there's almost no, like, again, your main testimony. I don't want to bring up this old drama, I won't, but like the main testimony for what you used last time was a couple of small fucking TF2bers that got ushered in from fucking Whammo's Discord. Like, no shit, those people are gonna be the way they are. But just on like a broader level, like, it really isn't that profitable at all to make a fucking video that everyone else is making.
How many views did your latest Save TF2 video get?
Yeah, it got way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, imagine if you put a sponsor on that. That could have added at least a couple extra thousand to that.
That's a little uncharitable.
I agree.
He's making a point. No, he doesn't understand. No, he doesn't understand. Richter, you're actually making my point for me. There's an opportunity cost involved with making a Save TF2 video because no one's gonna fucking sponsor that shit. Come on. So you could spend that time making an actual video, put a sponsor on it, you make like 10 times the revenue. That's what people are giving up when they make this shit.
The point you're making is that there's no incentive. There's a negligible incentive in being a part of a movement like this, and that's just not true. You get your name on a Reddit poster. Everybody gets to see the fucking Milk Ape name everywhere. People are just excited to be a part of something. They want to etch their name into the annals of TF2 history, and a lot of them aren't even fucking TF2 fans. It's I know there's hints of elitism there, and it might be.
No, I think there is because here's the way I look at it. I take an average person who has been playing TF2 for 5 years, and I say, okay, imagine you have 100,000 subscribers and you have the ability to help the game that you love so much. Like, are you gonna say, oh well, if you take it, you're doing it for special interests? No, of course people. Well, you're saying there's like there's a cloud of disingenuous.
I think it's disingenuous because you and everybody else I've talked about with Save TF2 refuses to acknowledge even the possibility that somebody might not.
I acknowledge the possibility.
Motivation.
I've said the possibility several times.
Yeah, after like 2 years, you finally conceded to me, Weezy.
No, I said it from the beginning, and that's what actually.
You did not.
No, you really didn't. I have to call you out there. You really didn't.
Sure, I'll tell you exactly what happened. And by the way, I won't leak chat logs, I promise, but I could. What actually happened is, Zesty, you came out, you said, hey, this was happening a lot, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't get that impression at all. And so did everyone else in there. Everyone else was like, what the fuck is Zesty talking about? So, being the excavator I went into the Discord and I read every fucking message from the moment you joined, Zesty, all the way until Save TF2's end. I read every single one and I found nothing. Now I could bring up, in fact, I'm going to, fuck it. How, like, you said, oh, this was a massive problem in the Discord. I hit you up on Twitter, you doubled down, and you said, leak the chat logs, they'll agree with me. And then I pushed you on it. I'm like, well, if it's such a prominent issue, how about I invite you back, and you could find an example very easily. And then you said, no, actually, it was just one example in the fucking chat. And then I say, okay, well, where is it? And then you didn't know, and then you replied to me the next day saying, actually, it was a couple of small fry TF2bers, your words, not mine, in the voice chat, in a fucking channel with over 100 people. So, of course, like, if you're gonna extrapolate that far, if you're going to take the opinions of 2 people and extrapolate it onto the entire group, no shit is going to appear like that. But I think that's a very stupid thing to do, and more than that, I think it's unfair.
Thing is, Wheezy, I think you've just proven the point that there is a non-zero number of people who have a greater incentive to engage with this.
But non-zero is not the majority.
You're saying small fry, Wheezy. Is El Maxo a small fry?
I thought you and Max talked about
and
that.
Look, listen, Wheezy. Here's the thing as well. Here's the thing as well. I will own up to that.
El Maxo, by the way, my whole hood watches El Maxo.
Here's the thing. I will own up to the fact that there was only 2 smaller guys in there who are outwardly saying that they're doing this. Oh, look at all the views we're going to get. It's going to reflect positively on us. But there was definitely. But here's the thing. And here's the Richter. Jesus Christ, man.
Make so much money off of it. Nobody's going to say that.
And that's my point. No one is going to say the quiet part out loud. No one is going to say that they're going to personally gain from this out loud, because that will reflect negatively on them. And I guarantee you, obviously, don't have the chat logs to back this up, but there was definitely the air of that in there, and that is what I felt. And I'm getting a lot of that now. I'm certainly getting less of that this time around, but I'm getting, again, another dose of like, man, it really seems like people are doing this more so for their own benefit than the benefit of the game.
How do you come to that conclusion? I'm just so curious.
Can I?
It sounds like...
to me, no, I want to know, but it just seems to me how, like, wow, the 2 most jaded people in the community who have been unfairly fucked over by the community all the time simultaneously have these very pessimistic views of the entire community. A coincidence, right? It's just kind of weird. So I think
it's fair. I don't think it's unfair to have a pessimistic view on this at all.
No, sure, but what is the logic you've used to arrive at that conclusion that there's like people in there, like not non-zero, like a substantive amount of them have ulterior motives?
I think primarily by how they communicate online. I think, so for example, we'll use Shork as an example here. This is someone who is like the main figurehead for this, right? And from his tweets and his previous actions, he seems very concerned about how the optics will be reflected back on his person. And that's one example.
True. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and to me, it seems like, especially him, and this is the biggest guy who seems more concerned about how it's going to reflect on him and his standing than how it's actually going to impact the game and its future.
Well,
to me, that is really bad.
Well, I don't know if that's his priority, though. I think that's a factor.
And that's my point, is that it's a factor. And that it's a factor, and that's my whole point on conflicts of interest here, where they're worried about how it's going to be reflected back onto them. And so naturally, when the first time around, it was in Shork's best interest to have this be co-opted by positivity. And even more so now, because his main moneymaker are the voice actors, people who have professional relationships with Valve. Why would we ever... And here's the thing. Why would we ever trust him to speak ill of Valve and to hit them where it hurts when his primary, moneymaker are these people who have professional relationships with Valve? Why would he risk damaging that?
Oh, exactly. He is this time around. And I don't know what I can leak, but what I will tell you is he kind of planned some stuff with the voice actors, but because the fixed TF2 hashtag was so direct, they didn't want to be involved with it. And he took that.
There's my point right there. It's too direct, and they don't want to be involved with it because they don't want to hurt their professional relationships.
Well, yeah, but what Wheezy's point is that he apparently is taking that. Like, he's doing it anyway.
Yeah, he's taking that out.
A point in favor of Shork, if anything.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Although he is actually making those sacrifices.
The point goes both ways, because though that's true for Shork specifically, the opposite could be true for other people. Or like other people might not be willing to take that. So it's more of an indication. It's more of just a point.
It's great that after we put a shining magnifying glass on Shork, he's slightly adjusted his behavior. That's a great change.
Also, I don't think he's slightly. I think he's adapted to the circumstances. I don't think he's adjusted his behavior really.
Also, I have a kind of an anecdote. I would like to say that there is a non-zero amount of people who are making fixed TF2 videos, or will make fixed TF2 videos, and did make TF2 videos, not for the purpose of personal gratification necessarily, but simply because, like, as a YouTuber, it is important for you to make videos about things that are topical, and you might have something important to say, and
because it's your job.
Well, not necessarily. Wait.
So
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Not because
I'm rolled up. I'm sorry.
Not because necessarily. I have a personal anecdote. Not because
you popped an Addy just to come on here, Wheezy.
Not because
pretty much.
No, he's been working, man.
Not because necessarily, right, that they want money, but because, like, as a YouTuber, your brain is just wired to think like, oh, I have this video concept, but how do I make that marketable? I'm going to use an example because I have a video coming out the day after FixTF2 starts, or the announcements are being made. And I recorded the footage for this video. It's my first IRL video. I took a vacation with the other person in this call who hasn't said anything to Okinawa, and I went and I interviewed a bunch of U.S. military personnel about TF2. That was the concept of the video. Most of what they said, none of the people who were there played currently, but they were all past players, and they all had reasons for why they quit. And a lot of their reasons, after I finished recording that, and before I had looked back at the footage, I saw Weezy's video and everything that was happening around it, and then I listened back, and a lot of what they said was echoed in. They people that have not been playing for years. Like they're 30, 20, late 20s, early 30s. They haven't been playing for years, but a lot of the problems that they were talking about were things that were still being addressed today. So when I scripted the video started as like what it was going to be, but it slowly merged into me talking about, like, if people who have been playing the game for this long are going to be talking about these issues, I'm going to tie that into what's currently happening because I am a YouTuber who's writing a script, and that is important. That is necessary information. I think there is a non-zero amount of people who also probably had that exact same experience with Save TF2. I personally don't think that makes me opportunistic. You could argue otherwise, but I don't personally believe that makes me or another content creator opportunistic, and also I'm not sure if you could tell which one it is. That's all I wanted to say.
Can I ask you a question? And actually, I'll ask everyone. It might be fun to make some enemies. Do you think I made my video for clout?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So you're willing to admit, and thank you, I appreciate that. So you're willing to admit that you believe my intentions are pure. How do you differentiate that, and how do you get a different impression from other people who are going to make similar types of content?
Exactly.
Going to drop them tomorrow.
I gave my example already. Someone else can go.
DeWill?
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to say something?
Well, it can't. Nothing much to say, but it really sounded like it's elitism and purist argument. I mean, you need to play TF2 and play TF2 long, and with whatever, and in order to actually say something about improving TF2, you need to clear all that goals without making a mistake. Seriously?
I think we can make mistakes.
Yeah,
I think that's
the point. You don't need to be perfect in order to make a movement happen, right?
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to hit these tick boxes of you have to be a dedicated player, that you have to, I'm not making that argument. My point is that the primary motivator should be that you actually care about this game, and it puts a much more positive light on a movement when it's genuine.
So
how would you tell when it's ingenuine? Sorry, you said you had an example. I don't know if I caught that or not. What would be?
Well, no, it's when I was talking about Short, when it seems like he's concerned more about his own optics rather than the game itself.
Okay, I think that's a factor. Sorry, actually, hang on. I missed the point. What makes you come to the conclusion that someone's more concerned with their own optics than making something for a genuine appreciation or?
My personal correspondence with him that I will not share because it's a private conversation.
Okay. Wait,
were we talking about what?
Can I answer the question? I have a good answer here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I do, anyways. I didn't mean to self-fluctuate. Whenever I hear a person talk about something, I can usually tell whether or not they're genuinely invested in it based off of how well spoken they are about the topic. And that sounds maybe like elitist, like, oh, some people just don't speak well. But like even when Zesty, for instance, hypothetically, is talking about Zesty's talking about TF2, you can tell he cares, not because he's well spoken and says things perfectly. He often doesn't, but because he is saying them in such a way where you can tell he has thought about it for a long period of time. Oftentimes there are people, and I cannot name names. There are people who talk about the game and the way in which they talk about it seems very stereotypical or put on, because they name the things, they say all of the, they check the tick boxes for this is what I need to say in order to appeal to the lowest common denominator of TF2 fans. And we all could probably picture a select amount of things in our head that, that's what TF2 is in the eyes of people. Once again, I just talked to a group of people who I would consider to be quote-unquote TF2 normies, and they all mentioned things like, you know, the memes, or like the you know, things that we could all think of and be like, oh, if we mention those things, then people are gonna like this. When people don't mention those things and instead talk about the nitty-gritty of the game itself, that's how I usually pick out that they actually give a shit.
I think, okay, how do I put this? I agree with that. I think the only issue is, like, it's so difficult to quantify. There's like you all know, like, the Loki's wager thing, right? Like, you have to take the neck, but you can't get a slice of the head, so Loki gets to walk, or whatever the fucking analogy is. It's something like that.
No idea what the fuck you're talking about, Weezy. What?
Okay, it's like a philosophy thing. Never mind. Look, here's the point. The point I'm making is, like, I think we can. In fact, Richter, we had this conversation. What is plastic? Like, plastic content. I don't know if we can define plastic content in, like, a truly definitive way, but it has, like, an air of inauthenticity to it. Well, and so I think I can understand what you mean in that sense.
So what we do here on this show is basically identify plastic content. At least for the most part. We also do a bunch of other things, but that's one of the things that we
I feel offended. Fuck, dude. No. Watching my video today, apparently.
Okay, right? We all assumed that the video we watched, this is a nice tie-in, the video we watched at the beginning, we all assumed it was bait, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What about the video indicated to all of us, universally, it wasn't just one, it was all of us, we all thought independently that it was bait. What about the video?
I just thought that guy was, like, autistic or something, and he wanted to.
All right.
Like, I don't think it's bait. I think he believes what he said.
Well, okay, so 3 of the 4 of us thought that the video was bait.
Maybe. I mean,
I think he half probably believed what he was saying, but he was he was fluffing it up for some bait, right?
Well, I think that's true. Yeah. I think that's true of I also think that's true of plastic content. I think that people
or of disingenuous content, right? Like, if you're gonna claim that that the people might make the videos, they might have an ulterior motive in mind. It's not possible and probably true that they do hold a level of passion for the game. Their own personal interest supersedes that. But I think I think it's massively overblown to the scale of what's going on in that Discord right now. I think it's by and large a movement born out of passion, and not like, oh, time to get some more shekels, that kind of stuff.
Is this the same Discord as the first time around, or is it a new one?
No, it's new, and we've been a lot more restrictive because we don't want the fucking crazy behavior that happened.
Because you don't want Zesty Jesus in there. It's gonna hurt his feelings a lot.
No, personally, on a personal level, I'm down to work with both of you, but it's just.
Well, no, because it may harm the optics. Me, the unwashed, the unclean, is not allowed within 50 yards of the Discord, which I understand. I get it. I understand.
So you get it.
I get it. I understand. You want the optics to look good for the movement. You can't have me around.
Mm-hmm.
I just understand that. I think Zesty has the potential to be a very good weapon for whatever movement is going on. He's like the only TF2 YouTuber who consistently gets like 1,000 viewers. So I don't know, whatever.
I mean, TF2 just doesn't really have a big stream scene. I mean, don't get me wrong, 1,000 viewers, fucking bravo, man. That's like actually crazy. People don't understand how big of an accomplishment that is. But like on a broad level, TF2 just doesn't really have that scene. So I don't think it's that big of a number in like the grand scheme of all content. So are we done? Or at least I don't know, because like I got a lot of fucking work to do. I
don't know. I feel like that's hit most of the nails on the head that we wanted to.
I'm trying to think to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, Weezy, I'm glad you agree with everything I've ever said about safety. It's really established a lot here.
Sure.
Listen, man, I hope that, I don't know, I hope that whatever you have planned, whatever you're doing, is going to have a much more tangible impact than the first time around. I think, given the angle that you're taking this time around, it will. I don't know, man. I just don't think you're going about it from every angle that you could to really make the impact that much more hurtful on Valve. But I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. In fact, if you guys, if you want to come back, if you're gonna do UFR next week, Lucid,
we are.
Can... Oh wait, fuck. It might. I think it's Monday of.
Well, can I add one more?
Some stuff. I'm not leaking anything. I'm just trying to figure out stuff.
Wait, while you're figuring out stuff, can DeWill say his thing?
Yeah. Can I say one thing before you are finishing? If we are finishing right now, anyway. The thing is, we all agree that the Belb is the villain of the story, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think there is no use of making another villain to fight. All we need to do is fight against Belb, right?
Yes, I agree that there should not be any infighting. If that's what
No, yeah, absolutely. And
all we need to do is, as a community, get together and fight against Belb, not fighting in the community, splitting the community in part of 100
Yeah, that's why
pieces,
Zesty
right?
should be in the server. That's why Zesty.
Hang on, here's my opinion. Okay, I'll drop my opinion for the road, and I don't know if you guys will like it, but I think it's true. So this is a case of people letting personal beef get in the way of potential betterment of the movement.
Who are they? Name them.
Solar Light's one of them, obviously.
I'm not. Look, I'm not going to.
Is it short?
But,
what is it? The braids.
Look, I'll be completely transparent. The way we sorted this out is we all picked our own name, or not picked our own names. We all had friends. We're like, yeah, we should invite this. Yeah, we should invite this. No one said no to you guys. Your names just never came up because the implication.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like that. But what I will say is, so people letting personal beef get in the way. All right. But I think you two would have the complete moral high ground if you joined us in supporting this movement. Because then it's like, look, these guys ostracized us, they casted us out, but we're still committed to the greater cause. And if you do that, you get the fucking moral high ground and you can play that shit forever, man. But that's up to you.
I'm not really interested in the moral high ground. Whatever, I don't care.
So are you gonna support the movement, or am I gonna see a tweet from you, Richter? Is that what I'm saying?
I don't know. It depends what you guys do. If it sucks, I'm not gonna support it. But if it's good, maybe I will. I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
If I was in the know about what it is, maybe I'd be able to give you a better answer.
Likewise, because we're completely in the dark as to what it is you're doing. I don't want to commit one way or another.
Right,
because
sure.
all I see is this tweet from Short that's like, "What should we do, guys?" And
okay,
I agree. I support that man wholeheartedly.
I agree.
I want to make this very clear. I only give a fuck about the game. I don't give a fuck about what these people think. They're not in my life. I only care about the game doing better. I want Valve to address their shit, and whatever is needed to make that happen, I will contribute towards.
I'm not even a TF2 YouTuber, so most of this probably doesn't even affect me. It's probably the only reason I'm on here is because I don't have to worry about being a TF2 connected, whatever. I don't care.
Yes, Richter.
Oh, that's a good point.
I specifically worded whatever I'm going to say in my video tangentially related. I specifically didn't mention the movement by name, but I allude to it very greatly because I don't know what you guys are doing, and therefore I'm more in favor of what the movement supposedly stands for probably than anything specific. Because I don't know what the specifics are. So I'm more than happy to be like, yeah, I think the game should be playable. That's cool. Because I haven't been able to play it and have fun.
Odd take.
Yeah. That's the same sentiment every single one who involved in this shares.
Yeah.
The game should be playable. That's it.
That's the game. Yeah, because we live in me and DeWill, the three people on the left over here, we all live in a region where the game's basically almost completely unplayable. Unless you want to play Sky
about 2 or 3 servers.
Do you mind?
That's it.
Do you mind before I head out? I just want to mention something because you brought up that Shork tweet. I'm just going to be honest. I have no idea why he did that because we do have a plan. And a lot of people who were skeptical, they saw that tweet. They're like, "What the fuck? You still don't have a plan?" We have a plan. I kind of don't know why he asked that. I think it was just he
asked that because he's self-conscious. He asked that because he's not confident in whatever he does online. That's very much reflected in how he behaves on Twitter. That's why he did it. He's too concerned about his optics.
Don't start with that.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on that because I just
listen, I'm dead serious. I mean, just go look at what he says.
I am just telling you in relation to this tweet. That's the context. We do have a plan. Okay, we're not scrambling last minute. We do have a plan. I think he's just he viewed that as the skeleton, and maybe there needed to be some affirmation of what we were doing. in the community's eyes without letting the mask slip. That's my evaluation of that. But
I think you should
there's
tweet
no-
more images of Germa. I think
that.
that'll really help the cause.
I would tweet more images of Germa for any reason.
Anyway, yeah.
I would
we need
not.
to
I would
focus-
not.
Okay.
Richter, I hope you know I would never use images of Germa for clout. I am a genuine images of Germa supporter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
okay, I think
can-
I think I'm done here. I
Yeah.
really gotta work.
I wish
alright.
you luck.
Are you still gonna watch the video?
Shout out to
Um,
Two Fort Twerkers. Shout out to that guy and his
I-
awesome video.
I think we will maybe do some funny little game at the end. I don't know. Don't think we're gonna watch your video because we basically covered it.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But I
thinking.
appreciate you being here, and I wish you luck on whatever you end up doing.
No, I appreciate that. I also thank you, Lucid, for providing these platforms as always. I really like this. And Richter and Zesty, I know there's been beef over this, but you guys have been very cordial, and I really do appreciate it because I think conversations like these are they're just a lot more useful. And I'll just be real, I didn't think they'd be happening like this.
Hey man,
So,
keeping it
I
G ain't
appreciate
nothing.
it.
You ain't gotta like it because the hood gonna love it. Is all I gotta say.
Shut
did
the
you
fuck
just
up, you
say?
stupid guy.
Keeping it G, you ain't nothing. You ain't gotta
I have
like
no
it 'cause
idea.
the hood
You're
gonna
now
love it.
speaking a different language.
Yeah, Zesty hears black people, and he goes, "What? What is that? It's a different language."
Now we-
What?
What is? Wow, this
No,
wall,
see,
man, this
Weezy
wall.
was
I'm just gonna not acknowledge
Man,
that.
I really
Let's
like
move on.
this wall. This wall is a really nice color.
Yeah, and I had a joke, but I'm not gonna make it.
And I love
but,
the
yo,
color of this wall.
the black coated Zesty Jesus pictures are fucking.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Those are fucking hilarious.
I love that. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get back to work. Have fun. Have a good rest of the stream, guys.
See you, man.
Take
Alright,
care,
see ya.
Weezy.
All right, see ya.
Man, I love the color of this wall.
Wow, that was. Hey, man, I would consider that yet another constructive piece of conversation that we've just had. So
I agree. We are not.
I agree
for the record,
There's
we are
people
not.
in
all-
chat asking if I'm black. I'm not black. I was singing a Kendrick Lamar song, and Zesty made a comment about the. He's like, "What language is that?" That's it's just a rap song.
Man,
That's
this-
how you
it
do
just sounded like Zoomer shit, so I didn't understand it.
That song's for 12 years old. But it's GTA 5.
I don't know.
This wall is.
I don't play Grand Theft Auto.
Awful.
Okay, you play TF2, and that's it.
Yeah, only TF2.
I wish.
I was that
wish
way.
were me.
I'm still that way, but play TF2 and Gary's mod. Anyway, Weezy, what the fuck? What is the point of the stream? What are we doing? What was the point of any of this?
We
Well,
were-
that was it. We were having yet another
we were
conversation
having
about
a
all this.
constructive conversation about a fixed TF2 and for the record, I ran a poll an hour ago on if people thought it was going to do anything, and it is almost a near 50-50 split. It is.
Yes.
See, and that I find that personally alarming as well. Where sure, the sample size is very small, but the general sentiment I've seen towards this on Twitter and also now here is it's very, very split.
Well,
Some people are very yeah, let's do it again, but a lot of people are just shut up and move on. I
think-
I'm
don't
seeing
know.
a lot of people. There's a growing amount of people on Twitter who are just I'm fucking tired of hearing about TF2. Shut the fuck up. I'm seeing that everywhere now. People kill TF2.
It's disconcerting. Perhaps whatever they're gonna put out tomorrow with whatever their plan is, then maybe it'll change people's perspective. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see.
I think that I don't think that when you say the sample size is smaller, you mean relatively small?
Yeah,
because 800
you've
people is
sampled
not super small.
Well, no, but is 800 people reflective of everyone who's inside the TF2's vocal spheres? I don't think it's a.
Well, yeah, but I was just more saying I think that this video, I think that this stream probably has a decent mix of people. I don't think that I think the split is probably pretty accurate.
I think I agree. There's probably a good mix of people in here.
Yeah.
My concern was just the volume, right? It's only 800 people compared to the entire TF2 player base,
Yeah, no, for sure. I understand.
Lucid, is this your biggest stream in viewer count? I don't think I've ever
No,
seen
yeah,
700.
this is the one. A lot of people really were excited for this one.
Shout out to Lucid. Lucid's been doing this for months, running this podcast. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, we missed 3 weeks before this. That's also pretty nifty. We were on vacation, interviewing military people in Japan.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Assuming all 800 people actually play TF2, and if we assume that Steam's player count of 70,000, which it's not, are all human, That's a sample size of about 1%, which is pretty good for a population size of 70,000. So never mind. It's actually a good sample size.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think it was that like relatively small.
I remembered my math.
Nice job. Yeah, no, I don't know. Not to self-fluctuate again. I'm kind of excited about the video I'm going to release because it's a general video that ties into the greater idea without like being tied to the movement directly. And
I'm excited too. What you said about it is very, very interesting. I can't wait to see it.
It was so fucking. It's not a spoiler. I posted on my community page. I also interviewed Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man cosplayer, and he was entirely in character the whole time. So I'm really excited about
that's
that.
Great.
He hadn't played TF2, but he was really excited to get a hold of it because it has a lot of movement. And I told him it would, like the movement would be like him swinging on webs and stuff. It's a really good interview. I'm excited about
Lucid, is there anything else that is pressingly needed from Richter Overtime, or am I good to like bid adieu and go make like a sandwich?
Yeah, no, we can end the stream here actually. I was going to see if we could make it longer, but yeah, no, I think we covered basically everything. I don't want to artificially lengthen us.
I think we had a good time. I hope you made some money off it. I saw some donos.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Everybody give all your money to Lucid. He's good natured like Fallout perk.
Oh,
he's good natured.
I do my best. I try.
Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Anyway, one thing I want to add before finishing this, I think everyone should understand that we are actually fighting against Valve, not trying to find who's genuine and who's ingenuine in this community and shatter the community in 100 parts, right? That's not the main point of this movement. We actually want to play the game. We love the game, and this is the reason why we are doing the movement, right?
I agree.
And that should be the focus.
Yeah, we can save all the petty YouTuber drama for like when we're all old and gray and we don't care about it anymore. Like I'm not really interested in I'm not super interested in like the interdiscourse of who's genuine and who's not, because we could never really know for sure. There's really no point.
Yep.
Like and like we can all make our judgments privately and whatever. But I don't I don't think it's really necessary.
I just don't want to. I just don't want to see this movement dwindling into something like weeding out this ingenuine players, TF2 pans kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah, no,
that's gonna be the worst. Worst. That's gotta be the worst.
I agree.
So yeah, no matter how casual you are, if you love TF2 and if you want to make this TF2 playable again, you can join the movement if you want. Of course, it's not a forced thing, but right.
The thing is, well, you got to kind of address conflicts of interest as they are, and I agree that you shouldn't gatekeep the movement from people once it's up and rolling, but it is important to keep a magnifying glass on people who are running, like being the showrunners. That's important.
I just have
and if there's conflicts of interest, that needs to be addressed. Like that's real.
And that's something I was thinking about with you and Zesty, Richter, is that if like tomorrow, if this comes out and it's like, oh well, I like most of this, but they should take it further, you can say that, and then you can, like, if you have the people that you can reach, if they take it further and actually do a proper I shouldn't use the word proper, but a full boycott, that's still better than fewer people doing that. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree. I think the more people on this, regardless of the direction, is good. Just so long as the general focal point is Valve bad, fix game.
Yeah. That's why I like. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's necessary for everyone to just be like, hashtag fix TF2. Like, we can all just say the same thing. We don't need to be a part of like a TM movement. Like we don't need that necessarily. Obviously it's important for like the people who are doing it to brand it. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about like for people who don't want to associate entirely with that like whole thing. Like we can all have our own statements. You know, we don't have to be.
No,
yeah,
I agree.
Like, we don't have to be in the funny Discord with all the funny people. Like that's not necessary. We can all just say our own piece and move on. We don't have to be a part of any greater thing.
No, and that was the point I was making on that stream I held with Richter, that having people with sway over the player base is good because it gets more people talking about it. But the focal point being, having it being spearheaded by YouTubers, that we need to have some like set leader or leaders doing this is silly. This should be a universally accepted thing that as many people should be doing as possible. Right?
We're talking in circles here. I got to go make a sandwich. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for having me on, Lucy.
All right. See ya. Appreciate it.
Take care, y'all.
Yeah, no,
Boom.
I agree. Yeah, I think that people get caught up with the circle jerk of it all and trying to trying to use this as like a I don't know, a fulcrum to levy some sort of greater statement about individual people and YouTubers and whatnot.
100%.
I don't think I this is more of a general conversation if you guys are down to keep having it, but
Sure.
like I don't think that people calling out grifting is the own everyone thinks it is. Because you can.
Why is that?
Well, because you can call anyone a grifter and you never know their intentions. I'm massively biased against motivation farming.
Yeah, that assumes that they're saying the correct things in the first place, though. And if they are, then it doesn't really matter what their intentions are. Is like if, for example, if they're saying Valve bad, fix the game, it doesn't really matter if they are saying that.
Well, yeah, there's also that is also
to get
true.
Points or because they actually believe it.
Yeah, so
I think calling out grifting works when you can prove their hypocrisy, right?
You have to have
that's when it's appropriate.
have to
But proving it's hard unless they've done it themselves.
Yeah, you have to literally have like a DM of them being like, "Yeah, I actually don't care about this at all." and even then, it's arguable that you shouldn't say anything until after the movement's done because because their lack of genuine motivation might still like affect something, and you shouldn't say anything and ruin
100%. And when it comes to the Save TF2 thing or whatever they're calling it now, I don't think that's anyone's 100% motivation for engaging with this. I think everyone, at least partially, is doing this because they do care about the game, but there's absolutely bias, like a non-zero amount of people who are biased towards it bettering themselves in some way.
Oh, for sure.
But you're right, and calling it out isn't going to do anything because it's just going to take the wind out of the sails with this, and it's going to shift the focus to drama rather than what's important.
Yep. Yeah, you know that benefit of doubt exists for a reason, right?
Yes.
So I don't think, unless there is a concrete proof or something, calling someone is the hypocrite or something is really unnecessary.
True.
I agree. I don't. Yeah, and also I don't know. I just don't like it because I don't know the person's like heart of hearts or whatever. Like I hate attacks of character on the internet generally. Like whenever someone says like, "Oh, this guy's a bad person," I know because of the things he said online. Like in any direction, in any way you can spin that, it always seems very like superficial because I just don't know the person personally, so I can't make like snap judgments on their character based off things that they've said online.
But it's so easy to do because why look into things when you can just be a reactionary and like go, "Oh yeah, that is bad," or "Oh yeah, that is good," It's easier. It's easier to think that way instead of doing your homework.
Let's try to don't fall into the mindset.
Well, yeah, like I've not talked to DEWILL until today, right? But if someone told me like, "Oh yeah, DEWILL is actually like the reincarnation of Stalin," like I would be, and like they show me some funny I don't know, funny messages they said in a funny Discord somewhere where it's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm Stalin." I wouldn't be like, "Wow, I can't believe he's Stalin. I will now believe this and internalize it as true." Like that's what people do with things that are not as ridiculous, but in like a tier below that level of ridiculousness. So like, and when you bring it back to like Save TF2, I just don't see the point in trying to figure out who's genuine and who's not. Like it just doesn't. There's no rationale behind it.
Yeah, in the same vein, I don't think the talking bad stuff about the Shork and other community heads is kind of unnecessary, because unless you have a conversation with them, you don't know their true intention, right? Even if you have a conversation with them, you might not know it. So that's just the one thing I wanted to point out. Trying to figure out who is genuine and ingenuine is totally unnecessary in this movement.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Furniture Set over here, Alan is completely ingenuine. He is just.
I'm a grifter.
He is
very
I don't play the game anymore.
He's literally just here to ride my coattails. There is no other reason.
I quit when they added matchmaking because that just wasn't what I was there for. It made the game bad.
For the record, a non-zero amount of the people I interviewed also said the same thing.
Shocker. Shocking,
I
right?
did not realize the amount of people that quit Meet Your Match until I did those interviews. And
yeah,
oh,
dude,
boy.
like I've said this multiple times before, but that is like the biggest turning point in the game's history, and where most people left the game was after Meet Your Match launched.
I'm sorry. Can I say something unrelated? Because I've been seeing this over and over again. Chat
Sure.
doesn't. No one in chat knows what a circular argument is. I don't think. Chat, circular arguments aren't arguments that keep happening. That's not what a circular argument is. A circular argument's an argument that uses its own logic to prove itself correct.
It's like saying 2 + 2 is 4 because 2 + 2 is 4. That's a circular argument.
No. 2 + 2 is 4 because 2 - 2 is 2.
That is a circular argument.
Yeah. It's just like just throwing that out there because I've been seeing like several people be like, "Wow, all these circular arguments. They've been talking about this for ages." like no.
That's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
What's that quote from that movie? Oh shit.
Can someone clip me from
you use that word? I don't think it means what you think it means. What movie is that? What movie is that? Shit.
I do not remember.
Oh, I can't remember the movie. It's gonna drive me nuts, dude. And I don't want to look it up.
We should go over super chats. I almost forgot.
Someone clipped me from 30 seconds ago saying 2 - 2 is 2.
Princess Bride. Thank you, Princess Bride. Someone got it. That was the movie.
Someone please clip Alan saying 2 - 2 is 2. That's amazing.
Not what I meant to say.
2 - 2 is 2. Also, I thought I'd go over some super chats because there were actually some good questions before we actually close out.
I will be right back.
I will wait then.
Yeah.
DEWILL, I appreciate you being here. You're really cool.
I mostly just wanted to hear what's gonna happen because, I mean, no matter what method the movement take, I would like to just go along with because this might be the final hand we ever gonna ever bet with, right?
Yeah.
In the community.
Yeah.
So in the same vein, the thing I fear the most on this any kind of the save TF2 movement or fixed TF movement is that community shattering, because because the community members start to villainize and diabolize themselves, pointing at themselves. That will break down, shatter the fighting chance against the Valve. Yeah, because community strong together, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Shocker. Yeah, everybody knows. But trying to weed out the imperfections from the community, and trying to mock the others for being a failure or something, and all the other things, and basically just shooting inside the community from each other. All these sort of things, I really don't want to see it happening. Same here.
Yeah, no, I more or less agree.
So all that I want to say, I said it multiple times, but all that I want to say is this: our enemy is Valve.
Agreed.
Please, everybody agree. Yeah, please, everybody notice that before pointing guns at community figure, right?
I would never point a gun at community figures. They're banned here.
Anyway, that's it.
Nice.
Community members is not your enemy. He might have a different idea from you, but still it's the ally. Because, like I said, the enemy is the Valve.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing logical fallacy tier list?
Yeah, but first I wanted to read super chats. I was just pulling this up in case you guys wanted to stick around. And also I thought it would be funny. Yeah. Emma Dilemma super chatted. I'll go from newest to oldest. Emma Dilemma super chatted $2 and said, "West, Weezy, and Zest, please no drama. We gotta be adults, please."
I think we were pretty cordial.
I think so. You guys basically.
I wasn't the one that brought up the drama. That was him.
That was actually Richter. I don't know why we're scapegoating Richter.
Richter's usually the one who jumps in and starts.
It was so wild too because you guys, I put it in chat. Everything Weezy said about the things that happened in the Discord during Save TF2 or whatever the fuck. He said literally that verbatim 5 months ago when we did episode 5. You guys can go look at the VOD for that to fact check me. He said everything exactly the same. It was crazy. Someone probably knows the timestamp for it, but that was, that information is is already out there. But yeah, so thank you, Emma Dilemma, for the $2.
Apparently, my microphone is too loud. People are trying to turn me down.
Okay, hold on. I'll shut you up. Yeah.
I apologize if my voice is too overbearing.
Where
Are we better?
We're not
Actually-
better yet.
Actually,
I
to think
love
of it,
Zesty's
can
language.
I talk something about the boycott thing?
Oh yeah, sure. Go for it.
To think of it, the reason why I was kind of against the boycott idea is the same vein, the thing I said before, because a community getting shattered is the biggest fear of me, because it will to just delete the fighting chance against Valve by making the community really small into pieces, right? Boycott. Many game boycotts happened in Korea in these few years, because the game companies are going for the money or shit, right? And every time the boycott happened, their community shattered, because they try to point out the guys who isn't boycotting and try to make them a villain too, right? Those cops, those guys who blinded by the justice of we boycott, we are the justice idea, right? I feared those guys emerge in TF2 community too, and breaking down the TF2 community to the point where it's no going back, right? That was the reason why I was kind of against the boycott idea.
I think
I understand the boycott itself will work. It should work, right? If it goes well as planned, right? But the problem is, not everybody's gonna gonna be very gentle about it, and that might cause a serious damage in the community. That is the fear I have.
I think that is probably the only valid concern to have about a boycott, is that it will distance people who are and aren't boycotting.
Indeed.
I just
I think and this is oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think my only counter argument is that actually I guess I have two counter arguments. One of them is the difference boycotting a company in America is also more just it's more likely to work, in my opinion, than in Korea, just simply because of everything I know about how game companies respond to criticism in both countries. From everything I understand, in Korea, it's much less likely that a game company will respond to a boycott than in America, where companies are usually much more flexible with people. Is that true? I was gonna ask.
Not quite sure about that, because those games have boycotts are not the games I actually play. I only heard it through the news.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
All right. And then the other thing was, because I think that people who are, for TF2 specifically, the community is so insular and tight-knit that I don't see elitism forming over boycotts, especially when there's already kind of like a pseudo movement to help free-to-play players, because they have already also been fucked over by Valve. I highly doubt that people are going to just shame others for not boycotting or not being able to boycott. I don't think that is as likely as it might be with other games, specifically because of TF2. Those are my two counter arguments.
Yeah, I think, and my observation is that general sentiment is that a boycott is the right thing to do. I think it's a vocal minority that is against the idea of something that resembles a negative stance against Valve or some of a boycott against Valve.
That is the problem, because a boycott is a general sentiment, right? Boycott is the general sentiment. If it becomes if people try to follow that without thinking about it, and try to say think that we support boycott, we are the justice, like that, or one-dimensional thought, and that might cause some trouble.
Maybe, and you're not wrong. I mean that is there. If it does fall through, it's likely that it will happen, right?
TF2 has some market scene around it, right? Some might actually have a making live money to support their lives, money from it, right? So think about it. If a boycott happens, they probably won't gonna be able to boycott the TF2 too, right? Because their live money is Yeah.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah. Then what's gonna happen if those one-dimensional thinking brains find out that there are people still trading items in TF2 after we started Boycott?
No, yeah. Obviously, they're going to view them as an enemy, of course, and you're going to have a non-zero number of people who are going to take that as like an act to be aggressive. And honestly, that's just going to be everywhere because that's just how the internet works. You're going to have a non-zero number of people that are going to get combative over people not thinking the way they do or doing what they think needs to be done, right? And that's just a risk that you have to take when it comes to doing this sort of thing. Is you will get people who will do that, but you just have
to
ignore them.
Right?
Yeah, you have to risk it. You're going to have to.
Yeah, but think of that. Yeah, the risk. You said the risk to take, right? But some might not agree with your idea, right? This some might say this is not the risk to take.
True. No, you're right. And ultimately, you can't make them engage with it. You just have to convince them as best as you can, right? And then
but no matter how much I convince, some might still say, no, I don't think a boycott would work, and I don't want to quit spending money into this game because I like to pay money into this game, right? And we really have no reason to stop them from paying to the game, right?
Yeah, but those people were never going to join in the first place, so there's no use in like saying, oh, you're a bad person if you don't, for example. It's not really productive to try and convince them if they weren't
going to be budged in the first place, and they shouldn't be wasting the time on them.
Anyway, the thing is, those are community members too, if you agree or not.
They are.
Yeah, you shouldn't demonize them, but you also don't have to like agree with what they're doing either.
No, you don't need 100% of everyone on board to make something happen, right? The people who aren't going to be invested into it, you can simply just ignore that and move on.
I think that a lot of people have been made aware of the fixed TF2 stuff enough to where they are going to want to do something about it, whether that be speak out against it or in favor of it. And I think that is a net good for basically everyone involved.
No, and you're always going to have naysayers, plenty of them in chat, plenty of them going inside your Discord during the stream, people who are just unmitigatably negative.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, chat, I'm working on it. Jaunty Web made wonderful consider fan art. I'm putting it on screen. I'm getting it ready. I have to replace a Funko Babu Frick with it. I'm so sorry.
No, not Babu Frick. Don't remove him.
No, I know. We have to remove
Babu Frick. Truly the mascot of your stream.
Yeah. This was made by Jaunty Web, chat. Go follow him on Twitter. He did a wonderful job. This is beautiful. I love this.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's really good. Shout out to Jaunty Web. I appreciate it. Super chats. But I agree that there's gonna be naysayers. And I don't see that as like an issue really. Southern Ninja super chatted 20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And said, my comment about circular arguments was addressing the arguments around Save TF2, not the stream itself. For the record, it wasn't just you. It was a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I saw yours. But yeah, no. Boycott the game. If the game gets shut down, then we're not getting strung along anymore. Simple as.
Yeah.
Which is basically, I don't agree that the game getting shut down. First of all, I don't think that's a probable outcome. I think that's a very unlikely outcome from anything. I just don't understand. Like, people have been talking about it in my Discord over the course of the stream. But there's like zero chance Valve shuts down TF2 after a massive social outcry, because it only serves to make them look bad and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes them look really bad.
And it's not like it really costs much for them to keep it online.
And also, it doesn't make their other games look particularly good either. Like, that would only make the movement, I feel, bigger, not worse.
If they take TF2 down, if they shut everything down, the item servers and everything, that's like, they will never do that.
There's no,
they would never recover from that. My God.
Yeah, no, there would be people would boycott Valve en masse. Unironically, I feel like that would just
that's
happen.
gonna be a death sentence for Valve.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible idea. But yeah, I don't. But that being said, I don't think the game getting shut down is a good thing if it were to happen. For the players or for Valve, I just think it's a net loss. It does mean we aren't getting strung along anymore, but it also means that we don't have any game to play. Which, you know, for me and DEWILL is basically the same, but for, you know, everybody else who can kind of sort of play the game, you know, that's a little sad. But yeah, thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. Moving on. Scugs, Super Chad 10, thank you, and said, don't buy any more keys, don't purchase anything from the in-game store, stick to community servers if you do want to play, that's how you make a real boycott, #FixTF2.
I kind of oppose of the idea of go for the community server though, because it doesn't exist in Korea, you know?
Yeah.
You want to play Skyle 2 Fort? I love Skyle 2 Fort.
Yeah, for some people, there's just no choice. There's no community servers to play on, so it's not an option.
Yeah, no.
You can play with like 400 millisecond ping.
I don't play the game. I had a server running, but I just couldn't keep. There weren't enough people for me to justify keeping it up. It was kind of.
You can't populate it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I agree with everything you said, personally, because I have stopped playing the game almost entirely out of protest. Then like the 10% is also just because I can't like enjoy it, because I have to play Skyle 2 for it. But yeah, so thank you. $10 from BR. A more positive spin, : Valve is comfortable in the situation because no one says stuff. They believe things are okay as they are busy with their projects. They might genuinely need to hear it clearly.
Yeah, I read that one earlier and I almost brought it up, but I feel like they definitely heard it loud and clear. What was the exact wording they used in the tweet?
TF2 community, we hear you. We've seen how much of a problem this has become, and we're taking actions to make things better. Something to that effect.
Right. You memorize that?
It's burned into the eye holes of every TF2 player.
It's like one of the biggest memes that's come out of the TF2 sphere in years, right?
It's now embedded in your neurons.
Interesting. Sorry, I don't think this would actually like do anything, but it would be almost kind of symbolic. If every TF2, like a lot of big TF2bers, just posted that tweet like verbatim again, like all at once, that would be awesome to see. Personally,
that'd be a funny kick to the dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
the same. Yeah.
At Valve, just like that tweet.
Speaking of kick to the dick, I mean. I mentioned that there were a few boycotts on the game in Korea, right?
Of TF2 or different games?
And other games, but one tradition emerged a few years ago in Korea. It's so-called a truck protest. If you have heard about it.
A truck?
No?
A truck.
Yeah. So basically, if the game company is doing some bad behaviors and users get upset, the users gather up and hire a truck with LED panels and just make the truck circle around the company over and over and over with the message on the truck's LED panel, right?
Funny.
Yeah,
that's actually funny.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it physically exists in the real world, right? So many newspaper caught up to it and get the attention, and it actually managed to oppress the game company quite well. That's why it became a trend and pretty much a tradition in the protest in Korea.
No, yeah, and that kind of reinforces the idea of you have to make it tangible for the company, otherwise there's no reason for them to do anything. And that's why Save TF2 even got a response from Valve in the first place, is because people started showing up to their offices. And sure enough, within a few hours of that happening, they dusted off the Twitter account and made that tweet, because now the problem was tangible and on their doorstep.
Yep, I agree.
I hope I'm not sure what exactly going to happen with this movement, but I hope something tangible, like you said, would happen. It doesn't need to be a truck protest, but something physical, tangible for Valve.
Yeah, I keep mishearing you say Trump protest, and it's throwing me off.
Not the Trump, my guy.
It's like, I keep hearing Trump protest.
Listen, we're gonna get an entire convoy of LED trucks circling Valve. It's gonna be the greatest protest, the best protest, the most loud and proud.
See?
Oh, God.
We're gonna wag our finger at that man Gabe Newell. He's gonna fix our TF2.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
That would be a moment for the ages. That would split the community. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll
oh
do
God.
Okay.
I wanted. Sorry. Thank you for the super chat from BR. I appreciate it. Don't smoke the shrooms. Just super chatted $5 Canadian. Thank you, and said it's not really easy to find enjoyable vanilla TF2 servers. They may exist, but they are few in numbers, and it's honestly easier to queue for casual. Thoughts? I mean,
to be honest, yeah.
No, well, I mean, for the two of us, it's not that. For three of the four people
Everyone
in this
but
call,
Zesty.
it's not true.
I mean, but still, yeah, we have no community servers, right?
Mhm.
Oh, we have no other option but to queue up a casual. Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to search a community server. Good luck with that. You might find a server with a 3 out of 24 once in a while, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a problem, at least in the more populated areas, where at least for community servers, there's very few just strictly vanilla TF2 servers, and
That's why I really hate those people saying just play on Uncletopia. No, because it fucking doesn't exist. God damn it.
Yeah, like there's two.
They think as if everyone playing TF2 lives in America and EU, and that's it. Fuck.
Well, also there's only.
No,
like,
yeah, and
you
even
can
then, it's not vanilla.
Yeah, you can only just have. Yeah, that's not vanilla, but also like the total amount of people on Uncletopia servers is I think less than 300. So like that's less than the people who voted on that poll earlier, so that's less than 1% of the TF2 player base can play on Uncletopia at any given time. It's like, oh, jolly gee, I can't wait to be part of the 0.01% of the TF2 community who gets to play on Uncletopia. It's like, man, yeah, no, there's nothing. We play Uncletopia. Yeah, you basically, if you live in Asia, you basically have community servers that no one plays on, or casual, which has like one server that is filled at any given time. Have fun. So it's great. Love that. Thank you. Don't smoke the shrooms. I appreciate it. And Katami said is super chatted 50 something. I don't know. I'm gonna say alien currency to be nice. I have no idea. I feel thank you for the money. I have no idea. It looks like an alien gun. That's why I said that. Is DEWILL alive? Lol. Well, he's started speaking 2 hours into the stream. So
yeah, the Weezys and Zesty were talking way too much, and Richter was jumping in whenever I tried to jump in. So
yeah,
pretty much had no chance. And probably if I said anything, I would have just flooded by the others. So
yeah, no, no, you go. Sorry.
I really didn't want to fight too. Anyways, I just want to hear both sides and figure out what's gonna happen. My stance is just in general, we shouldn't fight each other. We should fight Bell. Yeah, that's it, and that's all.
Yeah, I think DEWILL has had
his very
defill. Man,
I think that is a very agreeable and reasonable angle to have, and I 100% agree.
And I also
Thank you for that.
I agree. Emma Dilemma again, super chat $2 and said, suggestion, leave negative reviews on TF2's Steam page.
Yes, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works for every other game, or at least it like tells people that something's going on.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, that's taking it to Valve's doorstep and putting it on their platform. So like there it is. Now everyone else sees it.
Yep.
So it takes no effort. You don't even have to stop playing the game to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they can't really do anything about it. If they purge any reviews, that'll fucking everyone will lose their mind. Everyone will lose their mind. Yeah, no, I agree. Leave. No thanks, not interested. Put the Zesty image somewhere.
Oh God.
What?
The ones who know.
It's a running meme of my face.
It's a good image. Thank you again. Pulse Kinesis said, we have a lot to get through. Or wait, no, we don't have that many. We have like 6 more. Pulse Kinesis says, or Kinesis, I'm stupid. Pulse Kinesis says $2. $2 and thank you for that. TF Twerker's coming for you, Lucid. Watch out. I hope so. That would be the real signal boost my channel needs to finally make it in the big leagues. If I could get a cosign from TF2 twerkers. I have it on good authority that all publicity is good publicity, so I'll take anything I can get. Thanks for the $2. Ghostark super chatted $5 and said, if the hate towards Valve from the entirety of the TF2 consumer base goes mainstream, would it encourage people enough to boycott CS2 and Dota as well?
Maybe. That would be the greatest. That would be the best thing to happen, is if you could get these other games on board and their player bases.
I agree, and I know there's a decent amount of crossover between the Counter-Strike and TF2 anyways, so I don't see it even being that unlikely. It's just a matter of getting top community figures in both communities on board, I think.
From what I've seen in recent months, they are on board. I mean, there was recently some bigger CS2 YouTubers were making videos about how they're fucking done with the game because of how bad cheaters are. So even their feathers are getting ruffled.
Yeah. I think that, like, this is one of the reasons why I think that it's like a perfect storm. Like, this is the ideal time because of that and Deadlock happening. Like, all eyes are on Valve, and once this goes public tomorrow, I think it's gonna make some moves. I think it's gonna.
Very curious to see what they're doing, what their plan is. We'll find out.
I cannot imagine it is anything. Like, if we really want to get into it, I really cannot imagine it is anything particularly crazy. Like, I'm getting my hopes. My hopes are in the toilet. So, that's not really an indictment of them or their abilities. Like, as like a group, whoever all is involved. It's more of just like a general. I don't know what could be done other than like the things we've talked about in this stream, basically. So I don't know how else really to go about it, and therefore I'm interested kind of morbidly, but I don't know what else they're going to do.
Yeah, like what new, like they're gonna like fucking got like a Beyonce or something is gonna do a concert for us. Who knows?
I would imagine that it has to be something like they have connections somewhere. We could all cast.
That's my guess.
We could all cast our bets now. Like, we could all just place our bets for whatever it's gonna be tomorrow. Because
I think that's the most likely thing, is they have bigger figures that are gonna come and throw some punches this time. That's my guess. They got other bigger people that aren't necessarily TF2 related.
Yeah, well, and also if Shork was trying to get the voice actors in on it at some point, I feel like
that's unlikely. I think because
they already said that they're not going to
involve an employee of Valve, but they aren't gonna.
I was saying, like, because he tried to. That's an implication that they were trying to get bigger figures of various kinds in on it. I wonder if because Weezy said, like, they weren't doing it. They were kind of doing like a big kumbaya party until I joined. That's not how he put it, but that's kind of what he said. Until I jumped in there. I wonder if it's not going to be a either community project or a everyone releases one thing at one time and they're all like tied together in some way. Like, not just like obviously the hashtag, but like there's some bigger thing to it. I really hope it is not a celebration circle jerk. If it's a celebration circle jerk, I'm going to tune out and I will not think about it.
I don't think they're taking that angle again. I think they recognize that was the original fuck up.
I hope not. I have like
I hope so too.
Because that's why. Because when Weezy said, like, oh, they weren't doing anything until I joined, I was like, oh god, oh no.
That's kind of what like makes me very.
That makes me very nervous.
Nervous and just don't really have much confidence in this having much success. If it took Weezy coming in there and changing the focus again, like, it's just.
The way you said it made it sound like Weezy's like the most incompetent person you know. It's like, I can't believe Weezy came in there and did shit.
Well, no, I mean, if it takes just like, if that's not the point, if they're already going down the direction of being hugboxy again and positive, and then it takes Weezy going in there and going, no, like, here's what we fucked up the first time around, like that already makes me not confident.
Well, unironically, like, Weezy's like, as much as we've given him shit on like the 3 episodes he's been on, like, all the time. I would say we. I mean, like, you and half you and mostly Richter. He is kind of the biggest homie. He has done a lot for trying to make sure like the outcasts of the community are included and making sure everyone's like on the same page and trying not to be like super overly positive. I don't think he gets enough credit for that, honestly. He's kind of like a gap bridger in that respect. I mean, I'm probably biased because like, you know, I interact with him in that way more than I think most people do. But yeah, no, I think that he deserves some level of credit for that maybe.
I don't know how to pose this without, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to it because again, I'm so just used to, I have my very negative views on the TF2 sphere over the years. I appreciate him reaching out a bit more in recent months. So that's all I'll say.
Understood. But yeah, thank you, Ghost Ark, for the $5. I appreciate it. Star super chatted me $5 and said, "Me when I name drop $1 billion company." Three sunglass emojis. I think this is in reference to people talking about Valve on Twitter recently. I think that's my guess. I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, no, I think people have been riding the Deadlock hate wave a lot lately. Maybe a little bit too hard. I don't know what you guys really think about Deadlock. I do find it funny that it has the same name as the series where Matt Pat said that TF2 and Overwatch is like a thing.
Oh yeah, it's God.
I thought that was like the first thing I thought of when I saw it. But then when I saw the footage, I don't know.
To be honest,
I think I'll let you all talk because I've shared my thoughts about this at length on my own stream.
Yet another competitively driven game releasing, hero shooter. I can't understand why people are kind of fed up already. You know, we've seen too much of that. It looks like Battleborn. You remember Battleborn?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
How could I forget?
The Battleborn, the Overwatch killer, died within 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the same. What I think about it.
I know someone personally who bought Battleborn on release instead of Overwatch. By the way.
Oh
wow!
A unicorn of a human.
Anyway, I really don't understand why these days game companies always go for the extra competitive games.
They see that's where the money is, which I think is fallacious.
I think
it was not anymore. Like maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, it's where all the money was, but not anymore.
Yeah, like, just look at the little company, my guy. Is a little company a competitive game? No, I don't think so.
Well,
I think everyone's become. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you could just look at Nintendo, who has shot their competitive communities over and over again with a huge shotgun, just over and over again, and they're doing great. So they are very anti-consumer when it comes to esports or a lot of things, but esports especially. And they are.
So I think. Yeah, Nintendo is fucking terrible. I completely agree. I think when it comes to competitive esports and what have you, like the demand is still there, but I don't think there's a huge demand for another esports ready hero style 6v6 shooter. I really don't think people want yet another one of these.
So my thing with here's my thing, right? Esports are a weird thing because unlike traditional sports, esports change. Like no one's patching basketball. Like they'll change the rules or whatever, right? But they're not going to add a new like position. It's not going to become 6v6 tomorrow.
The basket's not going to get raised by 6 feet. There's not going to be like a third basket introduced or 2 balls.
Well, yeah, like the basket got raised like in the 50s, like 10 years after the game started. But like that was like the most insane thing. The 3-point line got added like 20 years later, and that was like the big thing that happened. You know, like we don't have to. Esports get patched all the fucking time, and I think that is a huge problem with their longevity. Like one of the reasons all of the most prominent esports, in my opinion, most of the most well-known ones, which are like Melee, Street Fighter, the whole series, and the League of Legends in their like in a lot of their respective genres, I think those are the most prolific because they don't change that much. Like Street Fighter is the least, I think, known as a competitive game out of those 3. And that's because it changes, its competitive scene changes all the fucking time. So like you can't have memes like, oh, Fox is like the best character. like in the game, so everyone can make fun of how good Fox is. You can't have that proliferated through multiple years, because by the time that starts to get proliferated, it's already changed, and now people can only talk about it in hindsight, so it doesn't matter anymore. Like, and I think that that's an issue with esports, is that they never want to stay the same, so they keep patching themselves, and I think that's why TF2 is so consistent and people play it all the time.
Well, in fact, actual sports change a bit too. I mean, in rules, not that significantly, but still changes.
Yeah,
I
very
think
subtle.
the main difference is that games are patched by the game company, and the actual sports, are getting patched from the worldwide kind of thing. I don't know, association. Yeah.
Yeah, and each ones have different each ones have different rules. Like FIBA's basketball rules and EuroLeague's basketball rules are all different.
They both change. Maybe the rate of change is different, but yeah, they both change it. But the problem is, the game is way too fast in rate of change, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Compared with sports, yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's a major turnoff for esports, is when there's too much change, and once you get good at the set thing, then said set thing gets completely turned on its head. It turns people off.
And I think that, combined with the high amount of entry level, like the high entry level for those sports, is like cost and exertion. The high entry level for esports are much harder to get into, I think, than regular sports, because traditional sports, because the esports have a higher skill floor generally. Like, if you want to be a competent competitive player in any prominent esport, you are going to have to put more work than if you wanted to go play basketball at your local YMCA tournament. Like, you can practice for a month at basketball and be competent enough to be an actively helpful participant in a game.
It's because it's local, right?
Yeah.
If you want to compete in the university league or the major leagues, you need to hone your skill more than 1,000 hours and more than 1,000 of hours. Yeah, that's every sports thing. Not just confined to esports. Like, if you're gonna play esports game with your friends the nearby on your couch, you are not likely gonna spend 1,000 of your time honing your skill, right? Same thing.
I think that's why Smash specifically is so well proliferated as an esport. Like, people can think of Smash as a casual and competitive game simultaneously, because you could just go to your friend's house and play competitive Smash, and then you can go to your friend's house and play casual Smash. It's just like how you can go outside with a basketball and play an actual competitive game of 1-on-1, or you can fuck around and try to hit half-court shots. Like, yeah.
Anyway, what I wanted to say was that skill ceiling, skill floor wise, esports and actual sports actually are not very different.
I don't know. I think that I think there's a reason why there are Little League soccer tournaments and there aren't Little League of Legends tournaments. And
that's because it's about physical prowess, right? You have to be,
because you don't know
shape.
it.
And it's a difference, right? But it's the difference between like lesser league esports and real world sports, is because one is based on cognitive ability and experience, and the other one's based on physical ability and experience, right? So these are two very different things. While levels of entry might be low enough, because all it takes is an understanding of those things, they're very different.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that esports at the very least don't appear to have the same staying power as traditional sports. Whether they do or don't, like, that remains to be seen. But
no, because they're very temporal, and because they change so much that people don't stick around, right?
And unlike
CS2 is probably one of the longest lived next to Dota, and that's because these games have just been available, and also Smash, right? They've been available and around for so long that they've managed to have a very solid, competitive-oriented player base. And whereas other games that just come and go because they're dependent on the developer hosting them and keeping them maintained. Usually, at least nowadays, with live service-based games.
I think that the how do I want to put this? The difference is that while League of Legends is owned by Riot Games, basketball isn't owned by anyone. Like basketball won't go offline one day.
To be honest, that's
No,
the
yeah,
one
and that's
difference.
exactly my point. Is that one day it'll just disappear.
Yeah, no, it. You have no guarantee. Well, I don't want to say that one day it'll just disappear, but I think there are certain instances in which esports can live on past the game itself, if that makes sense. Like,
well, Smash is an example of that, right? Because you can still set up a tournament because all you need is a console and people in a physical space.
Yeah.
Whereas for a live service game, once the game is no longer hosted, you're fucked. Like, even if you wanted to, you can't play this game anymore.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, even if like all copies of Melee disappeared tomorrow, I feel like the community would just make a serviceable substitute or recreation, and they'd continue playing the game, because I feel like it's outlived its place as like Melee. Like, they would make the game with nondescript characters and no IPs if they had to. I think that would just happen. And I think that's why I feel like Melee is like its own separate entity at this point. It's not even a Smash game anymore, in a lot of the public consciousness, which is a whole different can of worms. But I think for the majority of video games, like, if all the copies disappeared, people would just move on and play something else. And that makes it and that kind of atmosphere makes it very difficult for new people to jump in, which is why it was stupid for Valve to try and bet all of their fucking money on TF2 as a competitive game in fucking 2014 or whenever.
It still blows my mind that they thought this was a good idea. I just cannot believe that they did that.
Yep. To be completely honest, that was the one time I actually quit TF2 for Overwatch.
Yeah.
That time, it was the one time I actually quit TF2.
Okay, well, so it's like, we haven't done an actual food analogy yet, so I'm doing it. It's like if you went to your local coffee shop and all of a sudden they started serving you tea, and you're like, I didn't come here for tea. So then you go to the actual tea shop, and they start serving you better tea because they've been making it for years. That's what it was like when TF2 switched fucking competitive.
No, but also they still serve coffee. It's just like decaf watered down,
and it's in the back, and you have to ask for it separately. Like,
yeah, you have to go like into a different line.
It takes you 20 minutes to get your coffee.
Yeah.
And also, if your friend is currently getting that bad coffee, you're not allowed to join them.
That's such a fucking funny idea. Like, hey,
and also the sugar that you would put in your coffee has been replaced by Splenda. It's not quite the same. Tastes different. Doesn't feel right. You know.
Yep. Man,
I love food analogies.
I love food analogies. Also, just throwing it out there, Uncle Dane isn't the reason why a Meet Your Match happened. I don't know where this started.
To be honest, it's because Valve decided it to happen. Yeah,
it's
that's
not
it.
Fucking Uncle Dane's fault.
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
Uncle Dane does not have the pull required.
You really shouldn't point the guns at Benny, the competitive players, Uncle Dane, the community figures or something. Valve decided to do it. Valve did it. That's it.
I am more than happy to say that community figures influenced Valve's decision, but I don't think you could say it is the community figures' fault that, like, they pointed a gun at Valve and said, "No, you do what we say." Like, that's not.
No, yeah, you just posed it perfectly. It was Valve listening to the wrong people.
Yeah, I agree. I think it. Yeah. And also, it was all worth it for the clip in his random crits video where he says that the competitive community will one day be all of the players.
In 5 years, they'll look back on this update.
It's so fucking funny. Oh gosh, it'll never not be funny to me. Oh man,
it didn't age well. That's for sure.
It aged very well. In my opinion, very well.
This is why we never make arguments on the future, guys. Lesson of the stream. Don't say, if we do this, this will happen definitively, or this will happen if you do this. This is going to be the future. Never say that. It'll make you look like an idiot if you're wrong. Don't do it. Just speak on what is happening. That's why you don't say, like, oh, esports are a fad. It's like, oh, well, they might not be. Like, they might still be around in 200 years. League of Legends might still be kicking, and you'll look like a dumbass when you're dead in 200 years.
Here lies the esports naysayer on the fucking, like, digital gravestone.
The digital gravestone in the
it's like an LCD screen or something.
Yeah, in the VR, in the metaverse.
In the metaverse, I want my ashes spread over the metaverse. Oh god!
I want them put on top of the Roblox welcome to shopping mall sign.
Oh god!
This is the future you wanted. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. The last 3 donations I will thank you for, but like all 3 of them are either like nothing or Someone said to replace all of the slurs we were going to say with just TFTuber, and no. But yeah, thanks.
TFTuber is in effect kind of a slur nowadays on the internet because it does kind of bring its own negative stigma.
I was
that can apply to everything, you know.
I was gonna say you're gonna get me back on a fucking tangent, but there was a I think I told you about this. There's a Soundsmith tweet I almost included in my TF2 bubble video, where he was like, someone was like, hey, what do I want to do? What do I need to do to become a TFTuber? I want to do stuff like you. And like, keep in mind, this was like no one responded to this guy except for one person, and the person who made the original tweet responded to that person and said, hey, I know you mean better, but like I just want to talk to Soundsmith. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. It was really, really wholesome in like a kind of depressing way. But then Soundsmith quote tweeted that guy and said, hey, don't become a TFTuber, become a YouTuber. I was just like, I get what you're trying to say, but like, maybe the dude just wants to be making TF2 videos, and like, that's okay. You know, like that's perfectly fine. Okay, we don't need to. You know, I don't like it when people are like, hey man, my dream is to be a this, and then they're like, oh no, being that is horrible. You would never want to be that. It's just kind of like sad to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm sentimental.
No, I agree. I don't think you should shut someone down for doing what they feel passionate for. It's ultimately their life choice, and if their involvement in it comes back to bite them in the butt, that's a learning experience.
Yeah, and his rationale was like what happened, or what he perceived to have happened to him at the time, which like I know I literally went over it in that video, but I just don't think that Soundsmith was trapped into the TF2 bubble as much as he thought he was, and I think that he basically just like, how do I explain? I think he more or less just took a style of content he enjoyed, stopped doing it, started doing content about other things, realized that didn't work, and then later put the pieces together and went, oh, I just got to make like videos about like really good videos, and then he just did that. Like he's like, I just have to be creative, and then he just did that. So I think that people, I don't know. It just made me sad to read that. I'm glad I didn't include any of those tweets in the video because it would have kind of muddied the point. But it was kind of sad to read that. Yeah, that basically covers it. I think we've been going for almost 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you guys both being here. Thank you, Zesty. Thank you, DEWILL. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
DEWILL, I hope it was a good time being on for the first time.
Yeah, it was quite fun, to be honest.
I'm glad. I hope so. Zesty, as always, great to have you on. Wonderful time.
Anyway, whatever happens tomorrow, well, one only thing I hope is that people just stop scapegoating and just fight for the actual villain, fight against the actual villain. You know.
I agree.
That's all. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, still, people will gonna scapegoat somebody, so maybe this is just a wet dream. Yep.
I killed Fix TF2. You guys can scapegoat me. It was my fault. Anyways, I will talk to you all. Video coming out on the 27th, day after all the Fix TF2 stuff happens.
Yeah.
I've talked about it.
I'm back.
Times.
Sorry, I had to step away.
I was thanking you for being on the stream and talking about how amazing you are, and then you didn't respond, and I didn't realize you had left. So I was like,
I'm sorry. I had to.
I was like, I guess he just doesn't care.
Sorry. Thanks for having me on once again.
Yeah, no, great guest as always. It was wonderful. Yeah, video coming out on 27th. Go watch it. It's gonna be great. First IRL video, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. But I think it's gonna turn out great.
I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys. We will probably see you guys all next week to talk more about some Fixed TF2 stuff.
Part 2.
I guess. Yep. Part 2 gonna be happening.
See ya.
See what unfolds.